Because I'm worth it.
Yeah.
Hello, Disprue. We're live.
Yeah, I know. I was like, oh my god, that's got whiskey in it. That's been there for ages.
And now he's found his desk whiskey to drink.
Forget the desk milk. It's been replaced.
I feel like whiskey preserves better, though.
Oh, definitely.
Yes.
It doesn't curdle
Just a
like
bit.
milk. Just a little.
Yeah.
Milk
Has
gets
way
better
less-
with age.
Oh my god, there was
Ew.
a video I watched where it was like bacteria versus whiskey, and it
Oh,
was like
yeah,
on
I
the
saw that.
microscope. Yeah,
The
yeah.
whiskey win?
The whiskey. So yeah, you could see them. They put the bacteria on the slide, microscopic slide, and they have like the camera on it. And then when the whiskey came in, everything's dead. So the idea that you can drink whiskey to maybe kill some bacteria might be a little valid
That's why Disparu never gets the con crud.
because he's just
What-
full of whiskey.
He's full
Yeah,
of whiskey.
I was fine the entire time. I came back as soon as I got back here, got ill. And I think it's because I stopped drinking. That's
You got ill? I didn't know
yes,
that.
I know. I assume
I don't know
because
that
when
was
I
possible.
came back, I visited. I never get ill. Yeah, it's weird.
That's what I mean.
Except Concrud. Well, this time there was a huge gap after the got, so it definitely wasn't that. I did go
Mhm.
to the cinema as soon as I got back, and the next day I was ill, so I think I caught it from one of those skanks.
Skanks.
Those freaking
Those skanks that go to the movie theater.
No. Worst thing about the cinemas is other people.
The cinema
All them
skanks.
skanks.
Yeah. Some
Alright,
skanky
take
git
off the
there went.
glasses.
He's like, I can't even remember what I saw.
The cinema
Sinners?
skanks.
Sinners?
Oh god. Oh yeah. One of the most boring movies I've ever
He's
seen
the
in my life.
only person I know that didn't like it, but I think you were right what you said in the chat that maybe it was just like a.
I think it's an American thing.
Yeah, I think
I
so.
just
I didn't
don't-
see it yet. I want to see it. They
Me too.
re-released in IMAX, so I think I actually might try to go see that soon.
Because the box office for it is, it did well in America and died in the rest of the world. So I'm assuming it's some kind
Yeah.
of cultural thing over there that I just
Maybe
don't understand.
the dialogue lands better here. I have no clue.
Yeah, and also like the history behind it. Like I don't, because I know
It
it
is
takes
based in
place
the
like
States, right?
yeah, like in the like Mississippi during like just certain times that probably didn't happen over there. I don't know.
Cotton
So-
farms?
Yeah, there you go. Thanks.
Right,
Oh.
I was
It's
trying to think
one
of
of
what to say.
It's one of those things you can't argue with the results. Like IMAX has been sold out, then it got replaced by Thunderbolts.
And they were
and
empty.
Yeah, it went
Hold
from
on, I gotta clean off my
sold out,
camera.
sold out cinemas, empty cinemas. So they re-released it, and then they're extending it because they immediately sold out as well. So
At least they understand the money behind it. And I mean, maybe there were contracts as to having Thunderbolts be in IMAX, but
Mhm.
it's like, well, hard to argue the
well, I remember
Thunderbolts.
one of Tom Cruise's movies. It was probably Mission Impossible. And he started going around and trying to convince people to let him into IMAX theaters. And I don't know, we're contracted with this, so I think he went to negotiate with those movies and stuff. I don't know how it works, but it seemed that there's a lot more that goes on behind the scenes with regards to the expensive ticket. Sort of the premiere.
no
places.
idea. I guess it's kind of like, grocery stores where you get your product. There is a premium that you pay, like end of aisles and the height of which your product is. Maybe it's just kind of similar to that, a bidding war of sorts.
Yeah, probably. It would make sense. But what have you guys been up to? Anything fun?
Oh, sleep.
Yeah, well, you're not sick anymore, so that's fun.
Yeah,
Good.
it's great. Honestly, like it was a struggle to like not cough on streams.
Oh, I bet.
Well, that's how I
And
was
do
on
it.
FNT and Open Bar. I kept having to mute my camera and stuff because I was just coughing all the time. And
Yeah,
been improving. Like my voice, it feels deep to me at the moment. I don't know it's coming across in
it's
camera.
kind of
but
nasally right now.
yes, yeah. The videos of recording everything.
Yeah. Oh gosh, I don't know if you had this, but like an hour into stream, I could feel my body just be like, "You need bed now. You need to go to
Yeah.
sleep."
I'm sure the lights don't help either when you're feeling like just
Oh no, it's just sitting up.
that too.
This
Yeah.
chair is not comfortable when all you want to do is lay down.
The
Aw.
key with lights, if anyone is streaming, do not beam them in your face, bounce them off a wall, and you won't notice them. Like,
Yeah.
I see people and they've got the lights and they're just, the worst one, there's a big soft box and it's just 2 inches away from their face. Now, obviously, this doesn't work if you've got, like, yellow paint on your wall or something, because you'll just have yellow beamed on you.
Let me try this. I've never done that.
Yeah, it works fine.
It's not strong enough, I don't think.
I mean, my key light and stuff isn't, like, I can do that, but it's,
Oh, it looks so blue. Yeah, I don't think it's working
if you've
here.
got blue paint on the wall, it will make you look blue, yes. This is why you want a neutral colored stream room, so you can do it.
Well, I had no choice in the stream color.
I
So.
didn't select the paint, okay? Yeah, mine's like off-white. I moved it a little bit, but my
Off-white
I
should be
gotta-
fine.
so I have to fix it. I have like one that like you can pull up and it's got a base that's like I can move it around. I originally got it for like pictures for my cosplays and stuff, which is why I wanted like a one that could stand on its own without being like latched onto the desk. But the thing is loose, so I'll like move it and then it just slams in and I gotta sit there for like 10 minutes messing with it. So it almost just did that. So I'm like, I'm just gonna leave it. But I will turn it. I have one right here that's not right in my face. It's coming from the side and I like it because it's not.
It
in
has
my
other
eyes.
benefits as well, because if your monitor is bright but the wall behind it is dark, it gives you eye strain. So if you can balance out the brightness on both, way better for
Cute.
eyes.
I like it. It's like she's in the sky, surrounded by stars and Pokemon.
It is. It makes me think of your
It did like when I first seen it.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's a good like. It's a nice background to do it like that.
Yeah.
I love
And
twinkle lights.
I love
too.
the separation because this is not a very big room.
Yeah. And it gives you like an office / bedroom
Like
separation. Yeah.
it's not very far behind me. It doesn't really look that far behind me, to be honest.
It looks
not
like it looks a
Desperoux's
little
room.
bit for I know like he's got like go gadget arms and he can reach the Funkos like Jay would say. He's like,
Yeah,
"Let me
he's
have
always a
him
nice
grab the
part.
Funkos. He's got long arms."
It's
Um,
like Epic Mike's background though. He put the wall behind him and he said, "No, don't worry, I'm going to decorate it." And
He
had,
put one
2
picture?
He had
posters.
one picture.
Yeah, and that was it. And he was like, "No, it's fine. It's going to change." It's been
He's
like 2
never
or 3
changed.
years now. It's
Not
never
changed.
improved.
He's like, "I just like it like this. I'm keeping it."
Yeah.
It shows my personality very well.
As an Englishman, I appreciate that'll do temperament. It's like, no, it's fine.
I just didn't want to look like I was in a closet, okay?
Yeah. I get that. I mean, I streamed from a closet once and everyone thought that I got kidnapped when Blabs when Blabs covered for me.
But that does make it more suspicious then, if you're like, well, Blabs is covering for me. She's like, no, she's definitely not been kidnapped.
So
Looking
Blabs
suspicious.
definitely kidnapped Wicked, is what I'm
Yeah.
hearing.
She's trying to take over Saucy and then the world. I wanted to play this clip. I see what Disprue thought. Don't worry, actually, it doesn't spoil any Buffy stuff. But it's James Marsters talking about like because he's got like a California American accent, and Spike is British. So Anthony Stewart Head, who is actually British, was like, I didn't know this. I actually just found this out by watching this short that he trained him because he was like, your accent is awful. Like you cannot. I'm not working with you. Like we gotta fix that. That's not how we sound. Like here, it's a short little thing. I want Disprue's take on this.
I have a fabulous California accent, naturally. And the London one, I had to learn slowly. It got better. It wasn't actually very good, I don't think, in the very beginning, in season 2. And Tony Head tutored me by force. I embarrassed him I mispronounced bullocks. Oh, can we say that in the AM in Ireland?
We'll pretend. We'll pretend like it was the other thing. Yeah.
And I do the same thing.
I mispronounced that.
Was the pressure on because obviously he has like the draw of the English twang? Did you feel the pressure there with being in with him?
Oh yes, because he came up to me and he said, we don't say it like that, you prat. You're embarrassing me back home. I'm going to help you now. And he would not even knock. He would come into my trailer when the new script came out, and we'd go over all of my lines until he was satisfied.
That's cute. Aww.
It's cute. Very British of him. He's just like, listen, I can't be on a show with you when you sound like that. I feel like Disparu would do that because he gets like very like triggered when people do the stupid like Cockney accent. He's like, no, that's not it. Everyone does that when they imitate Disparu too. I'm like, he doesn't
I can't
like
remember
that.
What his accent even
In season 2.
Because when I remember his accent, it's that.
Yeah,
so I can't remember him.
So maybe like in test screenings or something, right? Because I feel like Spike has always sounded the same.
Yeah, because I was expecting at some point to hear him do what he was saying.
Yeah.
But with the moment he went bullocks, I was like, what? Do you mean bollocks? It's like entirely different pronunciation. He still got it wrong. It's like, okay, I understand why he got annoyed over that word because I wasn't even sure what word he was saying.
That is cute though that he cared that much to like go over the script with him. They probably did
got
like
annoyed enough.
Yeah, but
he was like, I'm among the savages. That's what it was.
It was the wrong kind of accent.
Like, yeah.
They probably did like, table readings, and he was like, before we record, I gotta talk to you because he sounded the same.
If it was a table reading, that means he heard it annoyed him. They went through the rest of the script, and he was still annoyed enough to go and talk to him afterwards.
Well, the success of the project could have been incumbent on his really bad British accent. Can you imagine hearing that? And you're like, ooh. And if we didn't like him, he might have been axed as a character for many seasons after. So,
yeah, well, actually, Spike was only supposed to be in one season. He was the big bad of that season, and he was such a fan favorite that they kept him in, like brought him back and kept him in. And there was this big altercation that he talked about this, James Marsters, on another podcast, where Joss Whedon just got like aggravated with him, and he was like, I could end you. Like he pushed him against the wall, and like in his face, he was like, I could kill you off right now. I could end. Like he got in his face, and he's just like, well, man, like chill, okay. And everything we've heard about Joss, I believe it.
He was one of the best bits about the show, though, and then he went to Angel and just made Angel better as well. So it was a good decision.
Speaking of,
I need to watch both at some point.
I got them both right there. Hold on a second. I'm gonna go grab
them.
It's
well worth a watch.
Absolutely.
Very kind of traditional TV for its time.
You already know my stance.
So it's not as if you have to binge it all in one go or anything, because each episode's self-contained.
I want to watch it at some point, after I finish watching Andor. And then
I'm sorry.
I have a subscription to Apple. I'm trying to be economic with my TV subscriptions. Okay. Mm-hmm. Finish all the shows there and then move on to a different streaming service and then another one and then another one. So
watching too many Apple TV series back to back would kill anybody's.
Do you remember this episode, Disparu? Of Angel?
Oh, yes. Yeah, I do. This was the thing. When you had 22 episode seasons, they always had ways of doing filler things and giving actors holidays. And so Stargate did them, like in the middle of the series, there'd always be a recap of previous things. I think Buffy did that as well. Or Stargate had one where the actors would just be invisible. And so they just did the voice lines, but they're on holiday. And so that's what they do with that. Well, we just turn them into puppets.
It was such a fun. I loved that episode so much. And there's like the one scene, if you look it up, like the Smile Time episode, the gift that usually comes up is like they're following Angel like into battle, like they're about to go do something, and he's the puppet, and like everyone else is human.
I think he's holding like a big double-handed axe as well.
Yes, it's good. I'm glad I have those. I'm contemplating if I got that after I met James Marsters, like having them sign it if I ever meet them, like somewhere on it, not like on the face or anything to ruin it, but I'll never get rid of these.
A butt cheek? Can you pull the pants down and
I don't know.
can you see the butt?
Would you sign this for me?
X-ray
Yes.
girl
On
question.
the arse, please.
Or like on the
Please,
back.
Will you
I don't
please
know.
sign your butt for me?
Only one cheek. I want one's cheek unsoiled.
Only one.
Hey, that's your rules, I guess. I was gonna
you're
say
the one that
both.
said it.
No, you can't. But I could like have him sign like the back or something. Like
Yeah,
under-
I would. Yeah, I didn't know that they were wearing black undies. Okay.
Can you see the? I know, X-ray girl.
Look, if you are in black
inside
underwear,
her
I
mind.
don't want to see your ass. It's a standard of
I'm
mine.
trying to think like a good hidden spot to be able to sign. I'm not thinking anything dirty. I'm blaming this all on you guys. for
You're
taking it
the
wrong.
first. You're the one that went, signing, it's got to be on the arse, surely. It's like, where else would it go?
The next would be the tits. Okay. I'm kidding.
X-ray
That
girl. Are
would
they
be even
naked
better.
under the
You walk-
clothes?
You walk up to Spike and go, you sign this? Yeah. On your tits. It's like,
You probably would think that's so funny because he's pretty cool. I think I could see him doing that. You'd probably be like, wow, they probably don't even have those. You know what I mean? So sometimes when you go to these cons and you show them like merchandise, you have their stuff, like, wow. Like, I
imagine they are
bet you they don't
pretty
have
rare.
that. Yeah, I didn't even know they existed. Shout out Wiley. Wiley sent it to me like a year ago, and I like lost my mind when I opened that box. I was like, oh my gosh, it's
Aw.
real time.
I love it. I love
It's
it.
great. But what I've been up to, I thought we could talk about for a second here. I know this Brew doesn't care, but X-Ray will eventually make her way over here to go to Epic Universe. I went.
Oh, how was it?
It was great. I spent 10 hours there and I didn't want to leave. Like after 10 hours, I was still ready for more.
is the hotel at the top open? Because that looks really impressive.
It looks really nice. I want to eventually stay there. I think it is open. I think I was looking into it because I thought maybe like early next year or something, I'd like to get a room like just for one night because it's expensive, but it's beautiful and you get the view of the park, which is gorgeous. Yeah, Helios is the hotel name. I want to say I stayed at the Celanova, which is like a 5-minute
was
walk outside the
gorgeous.
park. Yeah. Oh yeah, you saw at least the outside of it. It was that was nice, and that's the cheaper one. Like that's the one that's more affordable. Helios is like 800 or 1,000 a night, which I'm like, maybe that'll be a birthday
big
present.
place as well.
Yeah, that'll be a birthday present to myself maybe in January. I don't know.
Ooh, Yes,
Um,
yes, yes.
The reason I ask is because from the models when I was over there that I saw, it was sort of the centerpiece. So
It is.
as people are walking around, you just see it in the background looming over you. The amount of rooms that place must have, though, if it's 1,000 a night as well.
Oh, there's a lot.
1,000 a night.
Something like that. When I looked, because I looked ahead because I'm like, I want to go. So I looked like in January. And that was the price. And that's even with me like being a Florida resident, you get a discount.
And right now it will be at its busiest thing, so the prices
It's
will be
the
as high as
new
possible.
thing too.
But
Yeah.
even when it calms down, you're still looking at 500 and stuff.
Are there any pictures
You're
of the
probably
rooms?
looking at like Wynn prices in Vegas.
I want to
Yeah.
see in the room. I mean, the Wynn Hotel is
Look
absolutely
at that.
gorgeous.
Oh, I was
This
right
looks like
there.
a palace.
It does. It
Mhm.
reminds me of like Aladdin is what I thought. This Brew got a haircut. Bless the rain down in Africa.
Rains in Africa.
Blab's coming in with like a 3-week delay.
Where have you been, Blabs? Wake up. It's okay.
It's
I
like
saw
lagging.
I just got here.
She sent that 2 streams ago.
Well, to be fair, the first Saucy that you had your haircut was last week, so she's only 1 stream behind. Because
Oh,
we didn't
true,
do
yeah,
Saucy
'cause
when
we
you were
missed a
in.
week,
Yeah.
yeah.
But it's great. I have videos going up on my second channel if you guys want to check it out in the chat, my vlog channel. I did a
Wicked
video. Yeah, I'm doing a video for every world. I already did Nintendo Land, which is adorable. I ate at Toadstool Cafe. You'll love it, actually, girl. You're gonna be like, I lost my mind because they have a Donkey Kong Country section, and you guys know I love Donkey Kong, and I was like, I don't know what to do. There's so much. It was fun. And then Dark Universe is actually my favorite though. Like the aesthetic is just great. Like you walk in and you feel like you stepped into the old Universal like Frankenstein, Dracula movies. It's so well done. That's the next video. Yes, Andrew. I see you, Andrew. That's going to be the next one. Today I released the Ministry of Magic one because people were asking about that one, the Harry Potter world. So yeah, it was thanks, Mongoose.
Does that
Yeah,
mean
it
they've
was
got
fun.
2 Harry Potter places now?
Yeah, there's the Wizarding World at Universal, and then there's the Wizarding World Ministry of Magic over in Epic. So there's
So what's-
actually
What's
there's
at the Ministry of Magic bit, which isn't at the other one?
it's like, so I would need, don't worry, Blabs, I'm not going to spoil it for you. She hasn't been watching stuff because she wants to experience
No, I
it.
more mean like the
But, well, yeah,
what
it's like, so I
area
haven't
of
seen
the
the
universe
movies.
does it occupy?
I haven't seen the movies, but it's like is it like the French area or something? Blabs maybe will know just because the Ministry of
don't know.
Magic. It's like fancier looking.
I've only seen
It's
the
like,
movies. So.
is it kind of reflecting the offices? Oh my God, Ian and Raider, what are you?
Ian and Raider, I'll be with you, gentlemen, momentarily. Without spoiling anything for Blabs, I'll just pull up like.
Are there fluid networks? Because I remember in the movie that was like kind of one of my favorite parts, seeing people go to work at the Ministry of Magic.
Yeah, it's like, it's.
We do like shoving people up
Fantastic
chimneys in the UK.
Beasts.
That was a thing we used to do.
Oh, not the Harry Potter. Okay.
Harry
Especially
Potter.
shoving children up chimneys. That's definitely something we used to do.
It's a pastime for me. Okay, that's where I
So-
put my dogs when I'm just storing.
They're the perfect height.
Here.
The problem is making them brace their legs against the wall so they go up them.
Blabs,
That makes me
close
think
your-
of Thunderbolts.
Close your eyes for like
Oh,
1 minute,
I hated
Blabs.
that scene.
I'm just gonna pull this up so somebody in the chat can tell me because I don't know the movies. Here, let me mute it. Like this was it, like because I don't know. So whoa, there's a fight happening in
I
chat
mean,
right
that's
now.
just a map. That doesn't
Oh.
look like Harry Potter stuff at all.
No, it
Looks
doesn't.
more like Egyptian.
Hold on, Lab said it.
A Fantastic
Reader.
Beasts, Crimes of Grindelwald. Oh, so it's supposed to look kind of old.
Oh,
well,
I don't know.
old.
I know nothing about Fantastic Beasts. That'll be why.
Yeah.
Raider.
Shit, going nuts. Okay, I'm gonna get to you guys. So it's like this. Like there was one ride. I think it was broken down though. It breaks down a lot apparently. I just went through here just to get footage, like a little walkthrough. And it seemed to me that there was a lot more like restaurants.
Okay, that
Yes.
looks cute. Okay.
Yeah, in 1920s, 30s Paris. Yeah, the aesthetic was beautiful. Thank
I like
you,
the
Experiment.
details
Yeah.
of the signs and the store windows. It's really pretty, actually.
Yeah, it's very pretty. And they have like this candy shop that if I wasn't walking around in 86 degrees, I would have got some candy. And then
For
I caught a
me-
little street like performance that was very cute. But yeah.
Having never been to like one of these places before, when I went to like the thing that got me was the forced perspective of the buildings.
Thank you, Blabs.
So how in a short space it still made it feel like there were full-size buildings in a city. Just because the upper floors are squashed and stuff, but it doesn't feel as if they're squashed unless you actually start thinking about it. It was
Blabs helps.
clearly very well thought out, and you saw that in there. The actual distance wasn't that big, but it still felt like a proper city you're in.
Yeah. So for like those two worlds, because as someone who's not like, I'm not a big Harry Potter fan, but I think both of these areas, the one in Universal and then this one now, they're gorgeous and they're very well done. And I enjoy myself when I go to them. So that I can understand why Harry Potter fans freak out over going to the Wizarding World and now this place. I would say the Wizarding World has more to do because there's more rides and there's just a little bit more to do. This I would say has more like food and shopping, which if you're a Potter fan, you want that.
I'm sure that'll
So-
appeal to Blabs.
I know Blabs is gonna go broke. when
Harry
she
Potter
comes.
food and shopping. She'll never
Yeah.
leave.
Yeah, she's
I
gonna she's gonna stow away in like a little corner
Yeah.
and just put up a little like
She's
air
gonna
mattress.
squish herself into one of those top fake floors. and just like live the little person life.
Stacey,
I mean, Harry Potter shopping, like, I have to say that the wands are probably the huge money makers. Like, I like the idea of getting just like a wand, but I cannot fathom myself paying for it for a piece of wood.
How much are they?
I think they're like, what, $80, $70, $80,
What?
right?
I don't
I'm like-
know.
Because over here you
Probably.
could get it was the same with the Doctor Who sonic screwdrivers. There was a company that made them like but they also did Harry Potter ones where it was like a remote control and you controlled your TV through gestures, so like turning your hand or waving them around and stuff. And they were about the same price rather than just a bit of wood.
Yeah, they're
Yeah,
70.
it's literally a piece of wood for 70 and up, depending on which wand you
That is
get.
wild.
Let me find it on the Harry Potter store Okay, well, this is Canadian prices.
Oh, he's talking about £3.50.
So it's like 800. But I'm kidding.
Yeah,
So
that's like $15.
this is not like a certain wizard wand, though. Or not wizard. Like characters wand.
They look like the most boring ones you could possibly get.
All right.
There's not much to them.
There's probably better ones out there. Maybe not this store.
Probably.
They were just straight sticks with a handle on.
You can get there's like deals at Universal too, where it's like, ask me how to get a free wand, and I'm like, no, I'm okay.
That sounds like a chat up line. Ask me how you can get a free wand. Well,
It's like,
you're gonna have to buy me dinner first.
Lab says those are around 30 to 40 US. Okay.
The exchange rate
For
is
those
wild.
ones.
It really is. All three of us have a completely different rate.
Well, I'm used to knocking off 20% from US dollars. So by the time I get to like Australia
Yeah,
or
that's what it
Canada,
is.
I just give up.
Interactive wands are 85 USD.
Yeah, it is adorable seeing like little kids that are Harry Potter fans and they are like in the areas that you can be interactive with and they're just like blown away. It's adorable.
I mean, that part is pretty cool.
I bet they're just casting the killing curse on everybody. That's what I'd be doing if I was
And by
a
little
child.
kids, I also mean Blabs because I'm sure she was like,
Oh.
I didn't see her. She was having a good time.
I think a lot of adults, especially if you grew up with Harry Potter, you're just like, oh,
The same.
my
Yeah.
God.
Okay,
So.
let me catch up on these super chats because there's a full out battle going on in the super chats. Shane, thank you for the €10. Have a good show. I'll have to watch it on replay. Well, hi Shane, thank you. Lord Botha has been a member for 13 months. Saw Thunderbolts. It felt like the first MCU movie film in a long time where they actually had something they wanted to say with the story and characters. I don't disagree
Yes.
with that. I don't.
I think I'm with the Irish Times. It's the least bad movie in a while. But the theme, what you think of the theme, I think determines where the rest goes.
Yeah, we'll get to that in a minute though.
Mhm.
We all watched it.
Yeah.
I sailed the high seas for it. So I actually watched.
As we'll
something
realize what
these
that
guys
means next week.
The Sea of Thieves.
Yeah.
On FNT, Jeremy
Sea of
said,
Thieves.
"Oh no, Gary! I think it was Gary
no,
that said
it was-
we sailed and we went sailing for it, and then about an hour and a half later, as when I've just understood the sailing comment, and we're like, what did you think, everybody? I was like, no, I sailed as
thought they
well. No, I
actually
sailed.
sailed.
It's like, did you think they all went on a cruise together? It's like, what did you think they were talking about?
The thing is, he's from New Zealand, so I think some of the sayings are a little strange to him.
Although he's in the UK now, that's the meme that I want to stick. That he's only in the UK when he leaves, and then when he goes, he's like, nah, he's New Zealand again.
I thought he was in North Korea, but hey, we can all
Who knows? Alex Darby gifted 10 memberships. Thank you
Wow.
so much.
Saucy.
Timing.
Saucy.
Disprove started choking.
Yeah,
You okay?
definitely not recovered. Trying to.
Oh, you poor thing. Here, have some
Aw.
fisherman's friend. Old
I know,
people.
I'm
Last
drinking whiskey
week-
in an attempt to kill it.
Get more drunk. Get more drunk.
Yeah. Last week we had X-ray sick and now we have Disprove sick. I'm sorry. It's okay.
You sound better than me, though, I think, last week.
He did, yeah. You could barely breathe last week. Thank you for still coming
Oh
on.
my God,
she was
the
a trooper.
wheezing.
I'm pretty sure I had this last week. Oh no, when was last week? No, I would have just got back, so
It was last week. Disprove thoughts.
When was last week? It was last week,
Yeah.
just brew.
no, but I saw Sinners on Saturday, so it would have been
Oh,
in its
yeah.
hibernation period, like where it was breeding.
It was
Mm.
breeding in your system.
I didn't drink
You
last
were a
week. If I
breeding
drank last
unit.
week, I would have cured myself. That was the problem.
It's true. Nick Hammerschmidt for $4.99. I didn't hate Thunderbolts, but the consistent attacking of John Walker's character gets on my nerves so much. 6 out of
Yes.
10.
Especially in the first fight scene, just immediately afterwards, and that entire point of arguing over the power cell and stuff is just to humiliate him. There's even a point where they line them up so he's on one side, and the two, as I call them in my reviews, dangly deficient people are they're just lined up against him, and everything he says like, no, this is obviously incorrect. But the best bit is the height difference. So it looks like a giant being attacked by two little midgets, and they're just like scowling really hard. I was like, there's no way you can defeat me. You should try us. It's what?
That's how I look when I'm next to drunk 3PO or capable gentlemen. I'm like up to their belly buttons.
It's as if you tried to intimidate drunk 3PO. So like he's like, oh, and you're like, no, I'm really scary.
I'm mad right now.
You're so cute.
Especially imagine drunk 3PO with the super soldier serum versus you with no powers. Like Yelena has no special abilities. She's just somebody that trained for a bit. And so it's like me versus superhero.
I imagine if Jay ever needed to, he could just hold your head.
I was gonna say, I feel like a brother thing there. Like my brother used to do that to me when I was little. Like, you know, when you're trying to hit and they're just like,
and he still does. It was like the height difference wouldn't have changed.
Well, here is the war going on in our chat right now. Raider for 9236.
Hi, Raider.
Hi, Raider. Thank you. And
whenever Raider does it, I'm like, is there a secret code hidden in his super chats with the specificity?
I think so, but we will never know because he's not going to tell us. And then Ian for 9237
in pounds.
In pounds.
British
money.
Pounds. Yep.
Ian don't care about no exchange rate.
He does not.
This
and
is the thing.
It's about how the numbers
he'll work
look.
out the exchange
Imagine
rate.
he had like what is it? The yen.
And then Staccato was like,
he starts going, he'll get Dan Vask to do it, and he'll be like, this is from Ian.
Amazing. Hi, Staccato.
Thank you so much, Staccato. He was like, calm down, everybody. Here's 200.
Hey, at least I don't have to do 4 shots. Staccato, decide. Okay.
Which stream did you do that on?
This was Poor Choices because he was like, oh, you're not drinking tonight. I was like, okay, well, maybe we could talk about it. Like, if you're still here, let me know. And I was like, okay,
let me know.
Tugs, what do you think is a fair price for a shot? They said a shot. Okay, thinking 1 shot. I'm gonna do 1 shot.
Yeah.
She's like, okay, $50. I'm like, okay, for 1 shot, I think that's fair. For 1. Like, yeah. And then he decided, because I didn't put stipulations, he put 200. I'm like,
4 shots.
Mm-hmm. That's fair.
Now I have to drink 4 shots. So I had
she got
glass,
drunk.
Ice. I had espresso cacao. Oh, actually, I still have it here. And I got very, 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 very drunk on Poor Choices.
Well,
and I made poor choices.
To be fair, it's called Poor Choices. So.
Yeah. Oh, well, I for when I do those streams, I do half shots at $50 because I will be under the table within 4 shots.
Well, thank you.
I would have expected you to have a higher tolerance.
Raider and Staccato. You guys are gonna get the hair flip. It's been a bit.
Please.
Oh, yes.
Because I'm worth it.
Yes.
Every time. Yeah. My favorite thing about that is when someone went, Mike, how much to shave your head? He went, it'd have to be a lot of money.
It was 500.
Like, I threw out a number that I thought nobody would say, like nobody would ever do. I went about 500, and the entire chat went, no.
It's like, so low.
5,000. I was like immediately jumped. And all the chat was like, this is going to like. People underestimate things.
Again with a 9238. Don't worry, I'm not skipping anybody else's chats. It's just funny to show these in order. Thank you guys so much. But also, I don't think it's about us anymore. But thank you still.
I think they're trying to show whoever has the biggest.
We are simply the medium.
Never. And then Ian does a 9238 as well. Canadian wants make syrup out of leaves, eh?
Yes. I know all about it, okay?
And then Raider comes in with a 9239, says nothing. Raider, say something in your messages. Come on. Come on.
What he wants is the Halo 3 clip.
No, he doesn't.
Paint the town red, paint your wife white.
Oh, gosh.
It was on a Lethal Lightning stream. He would
He
donate.
looks like he's so innocent. He's like,
I
he
haven't
would
put out
donate
wives.
to-
I'm not
would
painting them white.
He would donate to show Lady Gravemaster the clip. And so I would not know the clip. It would be like now, I haven't seen the super chats, and I would only know he donated by Lady Gravemaster going, Raider! And it would immediately cut off into the clip. It included the line, it's a 3-whole day.
Wait, what?
I don't even know what that means.
Neither did Lady Gravemaster, and
I don't want to know.
I'm not
don't
going to
tell
explain
me.
it to her.
Nobody tell me. I'm okay with it not knowing.
At some point, I need to
What's
find
the
that clip.
third hole?
It shouldn't be that hard to work out.
Belly button?
Well, yes, X-ray. We're gonna go with that.
Oh! Yeah, I know. Okay, now I know.
that is so much more wild than the truth. That is like...
Broke this through.
So much worse.
When you say the belly button,
that's what you
then
immediately went to as well. You might as well have just gone in the ear and like the same guy.
Because then you're like, which 2 holes were you even thinking of in the first
I was like, one of the most basic 3. Like, obviously, it's the belly. But where else would it go? You know, the bottomless pit.
I'm so sorry.
Mark, thank you for the
At some point, I do want to watch the Lethal Lightning Halo clip because it is my favorite clip that's ever been shown on a stream. And Rater always donated for it.
I guess he liked it too. Thank you for the 10, Mark. Happy Saturday, gang. I just want y'all to know I haven't been causing any problems or anything like that. In other news, sorry, X-Wing. I thought they were starting earlier on with the show. Oh yeah, X-Wing tried to raid earlier, and there was like a conversation going on in the chat that I seen right before we went live. You can raid when people aren't live yet, like if the stream is scheduled. But there must have just been an issue because I do actually have X-Wing where he can redirect to me. So there must have just been an issue. YouTube does that sometimes, but thanks, X-Wing. Iris, thank you.
I kind of question, like, raiding a stream that hasn't started yet.
Well, if it's
most
like,
people would leave anyway.
Yeah, it depends.
Some people
do.
do.
Sometimes, like, if I'll like if we end like like 5 or 10 minutes early, and like Project Egg Roll is going to be going live at like.
Oh yeah, if they're just about to go on, I don't know what time is streaming.
I don't do it when it's too early because
nothing more than 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Iris, thank you for being a member for 2 months. Cheers, Saucy team. Today we got a sweet
Bichon
girl pup. Our Bichon boy passed in December. Name is
What's
still
a beacon?
Oh my
discuss.
God.
Suggestions welcome. Aw, wait, can you pull up a picture, X-Ray, of what they look like? I'm curious.
It just looks like a terrier.
It's a fluffy dog.
Oh, okay. It's a fluffy dog.
This is for the chat. A Bichon.
Oh, fluffy. That's exactly what I think of when I think of a little fluffy dog.
It just looks so sad and so cute and so sad and adorable, and I want to love it.
You know what he's saying? It's like, I can't believe you made me look like this. I used to be
Like
out in the wild hunting animals, and you've made
like
me
a
a
marshmallow.
purse
Purple for that one.
Minor Zircon for 2. What's pineappling? Disparu.
Careful. Don't say that.
I know.
My
Just
knee, it grows.
But technically saying that word, at least in America, is not.
Well, it just means the Spanish for black. Yeah.
Exactly. But it's not.
But I still don't. What's
bad.
pineapple? Like, every time anyone mentions pineapples, Metal Gear Solid, it's like, look at those, the FAMAS pineapples, and I still don't know why. I've never heard the FAMAS called a pineapple, except Metal Gear Solid. I don't know about guns.
The King's Court for $2.99. What's up, King's? Got a new law YouTube channel. That's King's Advisors. If you guys didn't know.
Very cool.
Yeah. Thank you for the super sticker, Kings. All right.
He's just like off with the head.
Let's finish up with their fight going on here, and then we'll go on to the next topic.
It's still going on. I
still
thought you'd
going
gone through all of those.
I didn't. Ian, so forth for 92.40 pounds. I know the exchange rate. It just isn't as funny.
Yeah, he'd have to be going, look, I'm donating 50p at a time.
And then Raider says nothing for 92.41.
Of course,
He says
the
a
most
lot.
silent.
But deadly.
Thank you, guys. And Staccato comes in with 20 gifted memberships. Thank you.
Aw.
I've never noticed before, but like Wicked puts a thumb out, and then you see sort of a panicked X-ray girl go, "Oh no,
like,
I'm supposed to be doing this as well."
I totally overshoot it every time. I go, dude.
I always thought it was kind of done at the same time, but it's like, no, it's oh crap.
I do the same thing. Like I play that on Wicked's World sometimes, but it's like just me. So I'm like trying to show. Yeah, I know. We panic. All right.
It always reminds me of the Terminator thing. As he's going down into the liquid metal, he puts his thumb up as he goes down.
That one is one of my favorite thumbs up gifts. That one, and then also like the Batman one, obviously, and Wayne's World. He's like, I'm simple. All right. So what do you guys want to start with? Superman or Thunderbolts?
Thunderbolts.
Okay.
I feel like we got a lot to say.
Yes. And I
Just
actually watched this one. Normally they suffer. I wouldn't say it was like suffering. Like my just like a non-spoiler, just like my take on it was that yes, I do agree that this is one of the better movies to come out of Marvel as of late, which is also not saying much because they put out a lot of crap. It did seem that they did actually stick to a story and tell it. I wasn't like
it's actually a very basic story. There isn't much to it when you think back.
Yeah, there's not, no. And there's a couple elements that I did like, but overall, like I wouldn't watch it again.
No.
And I think that's a lot of the movies in the last phase since Endgame is just,
like phase 1
is so
we
low.
could go back and watch all of them and still be entertained. There's no rewatchability, and not even just like modern Marvel, but modern movies in general. Like we go back and we have nostalgia for things that we watched in the 90s because they were done well, but think of kids and teenagers now. These movies come out and they might love it now, but in 10 years they're probably not gonna
yeah,
it's all modern stuff. Like they don't make it timeless. They throw in modern politics and social issues, and in 10 years it's not going to be a thing. So that ruins a lot of these movies now and in the future.
I don't think that something not being rewatchable again, or you're not going to go back to it, I don't think that's necessarily a criticism. There are loads of movies I'm never going to watch again, never intended to. Deadpool and Wolverine, really enjoyed it. No interest in watching it again, but it's not going to mark it down for me. I don't watch most stuff ever. This is why when people are like, well, I want you to rank all of the Star Wars movies. I watched them when I was like 8. I haven't seen them since I was 8. I have no intention of watching them again. So I wouldn't necessarily mark it down that way. For me, there were things. Most of the other stuff from like Multiverse of Madness, Thor: Love and Thunder, they were it was just awful all the way along. This was like, I don't like this. Oh, this was really good. Oh, this was crap. Oh, this was really... So like highlights of characters and highlights of scenes that I felt like dragged up the rest of the movie.
It felt very disjointed sometimes because it was like... it felt like you were a pinball machine. It was like, oh, this is good. But all of a sudden we're back over here where maybe you didn't like it. And I feel like that's probably where I felt out of touch with the movie. Plus, a lot of these characters, I had no clue who they were. Even though I watched some of the shows and some of the movies that they're attached to. But how am I supposed to remember Ghost? She was not that significant to me that I would remember her. I don't know what happened in Ant-Man and the Wasp.
I didn't see.
I didn't watch it.
Oh wait, I watched Ant-Man and the Wasp.
And you Taskmaster?
I think I watched it.
The only one I knew.
Yeah, I did. That's the one with Michelle Pfeiffer, right? She was in Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Yes.
Okay,
she was in the whatever she was all tiny, teeny, tiny.
Yeah,
I went too tiny. But the draw, at least initially to this for me, was Bucky. I would have loved to see more Bucky action as the Winter Soldier. I mean, there was just one scene where he gets to do some action, and then in the rest of the scenes, he kind of just gets beat up.
Yeah, I felt the same way. Like it was lacking.
He deflects one car.
He's definitely my favorite character. I mean, Bucky that we got in phase 1 was great. And I loved that character. Obviously the Falcon, Winter Soldier and the Falcon, no. But yeah, so like Yelena, Red Guardian, what's his name? Like I just know Red Guardian.
That is his name.
Okay, but like he has another name, right? I don't know his like actual name, but him, Yelena, and Bucky were the only ones I really know. And I forgot about I think it was on this stream. I forgot about what's his name, John
Walker.
John Walker, because they,
other Captain America.
When they showed like pictures, I was like, "Who the heck is that?" And you two started like cracking up because I forgot about him. I was like, "Who is that guy?" Because he was dressed like Captain America. I totally forgot about that.
I've been calling him Captain America all week, so.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. So this is what they're doing with all of the Marvel characters, though. Like a nice amount of people probably went because they wanted to see Bucky, and he gets like the least amount of screen time, I would say, at least not like you said, action wise. And they're doing that with a lot of these Phase 1 characters, and it just doesn't make sense. Especially people like Sebastian Stan is still like able to do the role. You know, I could see maybe people aging out, but they're bringing Robert Downey Jr. back as somebody else. So like, you know,
yeah, I actually disagree. I think Ghost and John Walker actually got the least screen time out of 5 of them. I think
probably
something
like
really
Solo?
weird with your audio and the fact that periodically your audio gets really loud.
Yeah.
Like now.
Oh.
And
like
then when you
feedback.
speak, it goes back down. It's like you've got a compressor when you don't talk. Like now it's really loud.
Sounds like a
and then as you
fan.
talk, it goes back down again.
Really?
Yeah, yes.
Let's see this.
On FNT, when Ryan sometimes spoke, and the first time he spoke, he was really loud, but the moment he spoke, it went back normal. That's what you've got.
I have no idea.
But the issue is it's amplifying your background noise, so when you don't speak, it sounds like you're in a wind tunnel because it gets really loud.
Oh, interesting. Okay, well,
you might have to just you might just have to unplug it and plug it back in. That sounds silly. I know people say that as a joke, but I had to do that with my mic once.
You've never had this issue before. I've just noticed it.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I guess those two probably did have less screen time, but I was thinking like it started right. We only seen a little bit of Bucky at like that party, and then they all were kind of together, and Bucky didn't join the group until more towards like the middle of the movie. So they probably did get less. Like maybe it just kind of evens out because Bucky did have a couple of the solo scenes, and they didn't really have any. They were with the group the whole time.
Ryan mentioned an interview where they were talking about, and there was something like, oh, you know, that scene where you interrupt the caravan or whatever, the convoy. And he's like, oh yeah, the only scene where I do something. So it seems like he wasn't very pleased with the amount he got to do in the movie because he was barely in it. I'm not attached to him as a character. For me, it was Captain America as Walker that was the best person. Like, by far. They tried to humiliate him the entire way through, and he's just correct about stuff. Even at the end, he's like, well, you know that Valentina person? We should just kill her. And they're like, oh my god, we can't do that. He's like, no, we just should, though. I'm like, yes, that's exactly what I want at the end of this movie.
He's like, let's kill her. Yeah, that whole thing.
You might
with her
just need a noise gate X-ray girl if you don't have one.
I do.
Oh, yeah, when you spoke then, you're really loud.
Yeah. Yeah, it's weird. It's probably just like
no, what it is, it's the way compressors, they lifts you up when you're low. So if you're not talking, it expands your volume.
I miss my old soundboard.
Yeah,
maybe I'll just have to grab it next time.
Yeah,
because it's okay when you talk for a while. It's when you go quiet for a while, then everything. It's like, oh, we need to boost our volume.
Yeah, it's something random because it's not like you messed with the gain or anything just now.
I'm gonna lower the gain a little bit. Maybe that'll help.
Yeah,
I did notice it before, but it's like even now when you're not talking, I hear the.
I think that would have actually helped. I don't hear it now.
Yeah, whatever you've done is better. Yeah.
Okay, lower gain.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is much better. Yeah.
Yeah.
There was a point where the background cut off. So.
Yeah, I like to keep my gain at a certain, like I messed with when I first got this mic like 2 years ago. I spent like 2 hours like recording myself and messing with the mic, and I noticed that like a lot of people will say like to have gain high to make your voice like bassy and good, but I find that isn't the case. I don't agree with that. There's like a sweet spot, but especially for like us girls, if you have your gain too high, we operate on different frequencies. So especially if we're like playing a game and we like scream, we're gonna bust someone's eardrum if the gain is too high.
There's also some people that like the really compressed sound, and I didn't know why, and then I realized American radio stations have a really compressed audio. And I think they've got used to that, and so there's even settings for it and stuff in Road which specifically aim to like.
That is
imitate
random though that it did that. Like I'm glad the game fixed it, but like because you didn't touch it and then just like randomly did that, that's weird.
Well,
Yeah.
I did notice it before that, but it's because the moment she starts talking, it evens out, and so it wasn't.
Wonder
worth
if it's StreamYards or if it's my soundboard. Anyways,
It
sorry.
could be. It's okay. We're
Derailed.
back on
Yeah.
on track. So like yeah, like my overall like non-spoiler review on this was that like it was okay. Will I watch it again? No. You could definitely feel it's like, you know, a gang of misfits comes together. This is like Marvel's Suicide Squad, except they're like being lifted up to be more heroes. Suicide Squad, definitely they weren't heroes, they were just hired to do a job. But the whole misfits thing, like they have done like villain stuff at a point, but they're redeeming themselves. There was a couple nice hero moments, like we were talking about this before stream with the little girl and Red Guardian. That was a cute little scene.
Well, yeah, but that's one of my issues with the movie, and I have a lot. There's a scene where it's after my favorite scene, where essentially Sentry, you get to see his power. I had no idea how powerful he was, but they do an excellent job of showing him against the entire team, and he just annihilates them. And so you suddenly out of nowhere get to appreciate this guy's strength. And then all these civilians are in trouble because there's concrete falling down, there's metal from all the buildings crumbling on top of people, and all the Thunderbolts get together to save people's lives. And this moment where this concrete block is going to fall on a little girl, and Red Guardian or whatever he is runs underneath it, and it smashes on his back, and he saves her, and then she immediately dies. Or as far as he thinks.
Not because of what he did. He did save her, and then 2 seconds later, he's like, "You're safe, little one," and then boom.
He's happy.
Boom.
He's like, because before he was like this Russian guy. He was really unfulfilled, and he's finally achieved what there isn't much masculinity in this movie, which is one of the things that I want to talk about. But in this, it is he'd finally achieved like the masculine purpose. He protected people. He felt needed. He finally found his worth, and then she died anyway. And there's a great thing that you can investigate there. The movie does nothing. It just moves on. It ignores everything. And that happens a few times throughout the movie. They approach a good idea, and then just it's like they don't know it's there. Or they're too thick to learn how to investigate it. And what they think is important is the feelings. It's the emotion. And they can't reach the next level of analyzing the ideas rather than the emotions, or using the emotions to analyze the ideas. And so you end up with quite a shallow movie.
It is.
It's a shallow movie that thinks it's incredibly deep. But like, it's just because they can only understand the emotion bit.
Yelena's story, like her feeling like she has no purpose and she's kind of sad. Like that's how the story begins. She's having this forced therapy session with one of the guards. About how she, doesn't feel fulfilled in general. Mm-hmm. And so that is a good start to a story. Okay, how do we find fulfillment? And she just goes, I want to be a hero. So I'm going to take this contract and then make me a hero, okay?
Like it was a PR thing as well.
Yeah, something they could have done to just like make that a little bit more... like show her have a moment is she briefly talks about her sister a little bit in it, but not really. She kind of brushes it off. Like when the Red Guardian's like, well, your sister understood that when he was talking about like, we should be heroes, whatever. They should have had a moment where she's like, obviously they're not going to show Scarlett Johansson. Disney will never show her in a newer film again, but even show like a scene of them when they were kids. So like it shows that she's thinking about her and thinking like, maybe I want to follow in my sister's footsteps.
Well, I think
that would make it a bit more,
because they're working for Valentina and they're scared of her, which means they know she's evil and she's doing criminal actions. And so even if they did like a public facing role, as she put it, it would be more like The Boys, where it's just fake. And we put you doing stuff that people think is good, but actually it's for profit in some criminal way. And so she still wouldn't be good. She wouldn't be a hero. People would just think of her that way.
Yeah. Yeah, the ending, it felt... without like completely, I don't think anybody really cares, but some people might.
We're skipping a lot if we go to the ending.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Well, I was just saying because you were talking about that, and it's just like it seems
that was
like
the
that
start
part
of
was
the movie.
kind of, yeah,
What?
yeah.
There's an article that I put
I'll
in
dial it back.
the chat where the movie starts with Yelena on a roof, and the first lines you get in this movie are just depression, like actual depression.
They try to make it look like she's gonna
like she jumps off the roof.
Yeah, Disproves like I'm kind of okay with that. I like people jumping.
Hey, I thought that was a great scene.
I thought Yelena was a miserable character that can't act. I'll be like, yeah, you're better off out of the movie. I am. Most of the social media reactions and stuff.
See, Ian gets it.
That was my favorite bit when she jumped. It was unfortunately it's her parachute.
Unfortunately,
but most of the social media reactions and stuff, I understand what they like. I agree with what they said. I just don't agree with their like how they liked it. I disliked it. But what they said was true. But the amount of people that said Florence Pugh was an incredible actress, she carried the movie on her back. No, she was a monotone, one-note character that can't act. That's what she was. All of my stuff is just like this, and then I'm just basically a blank slate to project yourself into. That was her acting ability the entire movie.
With a bad Russian accent.
Yeah, it was monotone. There was no emotion, and I do think she was just there for the audience to go, she's depressed, I've been depressed, I'm her.
Let's be friends.
Yeah.
No, I think it was just project yourself into the movie, because if you can't abstract, you have to think you're the person. And so they wanted a blank slate for other people to be, I feel like I'm in this movie. And it made them like it.
And I mean, the other characters that they had met when they went on that last mission, all of them had something going on in their lives, that they're like these misfits, that they were trying to look for this like next higher power sort of to just have a freer life, happier life and whatnot. And so I did like her little journey with Bob when like Bob was just so lost and he's like, I don't know what to do. I don't want to follow you. I'm going to slow you down. And she's like, just follow me, Bob. Come with me.
So
and she has,
I suppose that could be like a motherly instinct. I wish they'd gone more into that. Now, when they did it in Black Widow, it felt really. I don't think it landed properly because they turned it more into a joke. I remember a scene in Black Widow where it's her and Yelena talking, and they start talking about having like hysterectomies and stuff, and it's played off as a joke. But when you're doing a movie about depression, I think that would have been where they could analyze it. Like, well, I missed out on something, and I'd wish I'd done that. There was a lot about the actions that they'd done, not the life that they thought they could have had, which for her, you know, she was put into being an assassin rather than living a normal life. I think you could have done something with that.
Yeah, well, and they kind of,
she could have been like the son she never had kind of thing. One of her worst like moments in her life was her first kill, so to speak. She didn't even do it.
This girl, Anya, I guess she was just trying to lure her out into the forest, and they could have
killed, I guess.
It was so close to being there, like reversing or bettering the situation or trying to better the situation, but just never. It never felt fulfilled where she actually learned from that and brought it to her future. Because she's still an assassin.
Yeah, so for anyone that hasn't seen the movie, what that is, so Sentry turns into the Void, and he has the ability to essentially send you into your memories, like your worst memories. And in this, Yelena drew like a childhood friend into the middle of the woods, and she's like, I don't know why we're out so far, and then the guy comes along and shoots her in the head. Now you would think if there is a villain which is sending you into your darkest memories, the way that you would escape this is to overcome it or accept it or stop it. The way Yelena gets through all these memories is to run away from them at speed and just jump into another memory.
Through a wall.
She's actually running away from her own problems.
Yeah, and they even show, because they probably knew people were going to criticize it in that way, they make it like where she tries to stop it and she just like gets pushed aside. Like, no, you can't do that. Like, and you're right, that makes no sense. Like, it would have definitely had more like meaning, like her facing her problems head on instead of running away. That would have made more sense. Yes, a lot of it, like I said, a lot of it was lacking in certain storylines where they could have dived a bit deeper. But instead, like anything that might have some meaning,
what they were trying to say.
No, they're just like
Well, it was very
depression.
disjointed.
Yeah, it was.
It's like, because, and this is the thing, it's a product of modern times that they essentially think men and women are the same. So therapy is set up for women. It's a lot of, we want to talk about your feelings, we go through it together, we affirm them all, and we get through it and we work through it, and that's fine. Men are, I can't worry about my feelings right now because there's a disaster, and so I need to solve the problem, and then we worry about that stuff afterwards, probably with other men and alcohol. And that is the way that things have always been. But the way the Thunderbolts treated it was, there is one correct way, and that correct way...
Sound a little gay.
It's the way it always been. Pubs used to be largely male affairs, and so that's where men would solve their problems. It would just be a load of blokes in a pub, they'd get drunk, and then just talk to their mate when they got pissed.
Or get mad and punch each other and then be friends again 5 minutes later.
That would genuinely solve the problem. Yeah, but
That's
this is what I mean about the way that
yeah.
doesn't work. And there's even a scene in this at the end where Bob is punching his depression in the face. And they're like, no, don't do that. You need to get in touch with your sensitive side. We need to hug you and get together as friends. And it's like, no, that works for half the population. It's not how men deal with depression. It doesn't help them. And therapy itself is set up for half the population. This movie treats it as everybody is the same, we're all equal, there is absolutely no difference between us, and there is this one correct way to deal with this stuff. It's like, no, if you wanted to actually deal with depression in a certain way, you had to separate it, and you needed the two groups to deal with their problems the way they should do. And this is why I prefer foreign entertainment, because they actually have people act like real people would, rather than just acting as one blob, like amorphous blob. And so Bob punching his depression would have worked. And like, no, you can't be angry and violent. You've got to cry and, put makeup on, turn emo, and paint your fingernails. It was the most ridiculous way they're ever going to do it.
Don't forget the eyeliner. You got to put an eyeliner if you're really going to be emo.
The whole thing of like emo was just wild.
It's and the visual, like what they were showing, that like the darkness was taking over him as he was like actually doing something, like facing his depression head on. Because he was like a weakling, right? It's like he came off as very like meek and weak. I mean, he needed little 4-foot Yelena to be his hero. So that's how he came up. And then he finally, is standing up for himself and being a man. And they're like, no, come back to us, please. Mm-hmm. And it's just like, it's silly. And that's exactly what you're right. That's what they were trying to do. Like, it was probably toxic masculinity, because that's what they.
But the toxic masculinity just means masculinity. So like lifting weights, punch bags, getting a 6-pack, going out and exercising. I hate the idea that like anger is bad. No, anger is energy. Like you can channel that into something useful, and that's what he was. He was fighting his own depression literally, and they're like, no, that's bad. You need to cry about it. Like, no, that would make him worse. You just don't understand this entire half of humanity. I think that was my main problem with the movie. It was like you're treating everyone the same, and so you're trying to send a message about something that's actually really important, but you're too thick to do it properly.
I think if they had sent a message of like how these characters are, depressed, alone, and they haven't really found a place where they belong, that maybe would have come across a little better to be like, you're not alone, Bob. You don't need to fight this on your own. We're here for you. And the hug,
and they just stomp him out. Like, and then they all just stomp him out.
Come across better, but it wasn't the central theme.
Again, I think that's a feminine message. It's like, with men, you have to solve your own problems, and so people will be there, but you do rely on yourself more as a bloke in general. It is. It's entirely different ways. Like, there is no one else to back you up. You would be able to talk about the blokes, but he'd be like, yeah, you should do this, 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 and this. But you'd still have to do it. And a lot of like getting over depression for a bloke is gaining control over the situation, getting control over your own life, which is one of the reasons that getting a 6-pack or working out, lifting heavy weights would be good, because it teaches you, Like how self-control, discipline, and the same things that are required to get a six-pack are the same things that make you sort out your life in the first place. These would all be great messages, just not in the movie. The movie is, well, if you just tell us all your feelings and we just give you a hug, everything will be fine. It's like, no, because it doesn't solve the problem. Like, we never found out what his problem was and how to. He had a bad childhood. Okay, but hugging him isn't going to fix that. What it was the definition of, actually, that was in the past. You need to man up and get on with your life. That's what the guy should have learned. And there was even a bit where she was like, no, you need to, you shove things down and ignore it, and it'll go away. It's like, that's actually that's actually not a bad advice if it's about your father when you were 8, because you're not fixing that anymore. That's gone, right? So you need to literally get over it and move on with your life. But they treated that as if it was a really bad idea.
Yeah. They had Mike is hitting on Disparu
in a maid outfit.
Give him a few months, the hair will grow back.
I don't think you've seen that many lesbians if you think that short hair eradicates me from being one.
Disparu is a butch lesbian, okay?
Yeah, he's gone butch. So
I've always been a butch lesbian.
He shoves things down really deep down so he doesn't have to think about it later.
So overall,
my daddy issues.
This is how we solve problems. Lift weights and get 6-packs.
Yes.
To be fair, though, dopamine
and U-Hauls
and serotonin from working out is actually pretty helpful.
Well, yeah. Trying to skirt, what you'd expect. One of the reasons that you can't buy too many packs of certain things is because people are like, well, you can just walk to another pharmacist. You can, yes. That's the entire point. That one of the best advice for that problem is just going for a walk because it makes you feel better. Exercise helps.
Vitamin D helps from the sun.
Well, we don't have that in the UK. So
you're actually blocking out the sun, if anything. So
I knew he was going to say that.
I forgot about that.
So apparently, when this first dropped, it had 95% on Rotten Tomatoes. Now it's at 88%.
Can you click the 95%?
This?
Like on the number, yeah. And then go to all audience. Like even when you remove the verified audience, the score stays.
Yeah.
The most impressive part. Because verified is filtered through like Fandango orders and stuff.
Yeah.
But all audience is just anybody.
I'm actually impressed because I thought this was a mid to okay movie, kind of just like a 5
I'd still
or a
give
6.
it a 4. Yeah.
It was good. It wasn't great. It didn't move the mark for me entirely, but in the grand scheme of a lot of these MCU movies, besides Deadpool and Wolverine and No Way Home, it does technically beat most of the Marvel movies since Endgame.
Yeah,
Yes.
well, this right here, this tweet, Black Panther. So the current top 3 MCU movies on Rotten Tomatoes, which I know it's Rotten Tomatoes, but this still doesn't make sense to me. Because the Phase 1 movies were just miles better than all of these, even Black Panther. I would agree that out of these 3, that it probably was about. I mean, they're really close, 96, 95, 94, but
it's because the scores are a product of their time. So if all movies are amazing, you have higher standards than now. So now it's better than other movies that are coming out at the same time because they're all crap.
I wonder if we
back in 2005, we just had loads of better movies. So people would rank average stuff worse.
These guys are like the Earth's Guardians of the Galaxies,
yeah,
just kind of outcasts, not really well-to-do types. And I think that there is a good structure. It's so close, but I would say Guardians is a better movie.
Oh yeah,
than Thunderbolts by far, because it is a very similar idea.
Guardians was done better.
Yeah, Guardians of the Galaxy 2, I despised, but I haven't
3
seen it
I'm just
in a
talking
while.
about 1.
3, no, 2.
One's a much better movie.
They wasted Kurt Russell in 2. 2 was just a mess.
I despised everything about that movie.
3 was better than 2.
I didn't see 3 because of 2. I
Yeah,
was like, this
I don't
is
blame
ass.
you. I don't blame you. But yeah, I agree. Guardians 1 was better than this. This is definitely like when you mash the Guardians of the Galaxy and Suicide Squad together because these guys have done like they're a bit more like rough. They're supposed to be anyways, right? Like the Suicide Squad, but they're actually like trying to be heroes. So that's where the like being the Guardians comes in my opinion, like that kind of vibe.
If I compare it to other MCU movies that I've seen recently, it's better than Quantumania, it's better than Multiverse of Madness, Thor: Love and Thunder, Captain America. It is better than that, and I still give it a 4 because I really hate those movies. But I think my thing is with this, I despise a lot of it, but I liked Walker. I thought Captain America was the best thing about the movie.
And he gets a lot of hate.
I liked Red Guardian, which I didn't expect to, because I didn't like him in Black Widow.
Yeah, he was a comic
especially compared to Depression. Him screaming and being happy is like a shining beacon in the darkness, and so it balanced out the movie, which was necessary.
He wanted to be a good father, but he's done a lot of crap that made him not a good father, and so he's trying. Yeah,
and there were moments like him saving that little girl, which was a great moment. It just didn't do anything with it, but it's not his fault.
Yeah, they should have did more with that.
The Sentry fight is my favorite scene of the movie. I thought that was great.
In the building,
was the movie, I would have really liked it.
I want to see more of Sentry. It just it wasn't enough.
I didn't like
one scene.
I didn't like the Void. I thought the Void was a boring villain. I think he looks bored. He's just a shadow. I think his powers are awful.
Was all I could think.
Well, I think his powers are awful. He just sends you to a dimension where you just run around in your own misery. It's like, oh, great. That's not entertainment for me. Whereas Sentry himself, if Sentry was the villain and they were fighting him, maybe they have to get people which are actually superheroes to fight a guy that's powerful. Would have been a great movie. But my favorite parts were where the Thunderbolts, where the movie forgot its own theme. So all the depression stuff, I thought it was really shallow, shouldn't be there. Didn't really apply to me. Sure, it applies to a lot of people, other people, about half the population. But for me, I think it entirely missed the mark of anything it needed to talk about. But when it forgot about that and the Thunderbolts worked together, they were my favorite bits. So the Sentry fight and when they were saving the civilians, I thought they were great.
Because they were trying to work as a team, and I think that was really cool to see.
It's what a superhero movie should be. It was like inspirational. People work together. They get over the problems. A superhero thing should be, it doesn't matter what problems you have now, you ignore them because you're the people that can help others. So it's your duty to use the power that you have for the good of the world, essentially.
Like, the scene that, like, for me, that sticks out in all of the MCU films was in Avengers when you have Hulk, Scarlett Johansson, Robert Downey Jr., and I forgot the fourth. But anyways, they're just standing there ready to fight Thor, and they circle around them. And
that was a great scene.
Feeling that I got from that, I haven't really had at that level since.
Yeah, it was iconic, and it still hits. Like anybody watching that now, they still get that feeling. That's what I mean when I say, like, you know, phase one and those movies, we can watch them in 10 years and still be like, oh, this is so good. Like, we still like it. But these movies, even if we think they're okay, like this one, we're not going to want, I'm not going to watch it again. But like I said, people that are younger and they're just getting into this stuff, they're not going to have that same feeling that we had with Avengers.
If you want that same feeling, if you watch Solo Leveling, they seem to do it there. Because it's this kind of like hair stand on the back of it. The hair stands on its end kind of thing, and like, yes, come on, and especially at the end of season 2 in Solo Leveling, with no spoilers, something major happens, everyone's in trouble, and then this guy turns up, and like, it's about to hit the fan now, and it's like, Ray, come on, and it's like
Mike's doing it again.
Yeah, we're in a wind tunnel again.
Ah, shoot.
And your voice went really loud. See, it just increases the volume.
You might have to unplug it and plug it back in.
Like, superheroes are supposed to be like a power fantasy. It's supposed to be the peak. I think Disney's problem is if you want to embrace the idea of equality, well, you can't have superheroes because everyone's just a miserable, useless git. And superheroes are supposed to be the best of everybody.
They are. They're supposed to. They get knocked down. That's the point. Like Peter Parker. Her what? Sorry. What?
That was I don't even know if that's an American song.
What?
But it was a song over here when I was a kid.
Oh,
we get knocked down, but we get up again if we're going to get knocked down.
It is. But no, like seriously,
like the Chumbawambas or something.
It is Chumbawamba. But no, it's, like Peter Parker, his life sucks. He loses his uncle. He has
he was
countless
here. This was his city.
Yeah, countless stuff happens to him, but he still is a hero. He sucks it up because that's what they're supposed to do. It's not even just the men.
We're not in this
heroes, but apparently. But it's just like, I don't understand this, which we'll get into that in a minute with the stupid Superman leak, where they're just making these characters so soft. Like they like, oh, we need to be relatable to these superheroes, like the actual superheroes with powers. Like, no, we can't relate to them because they're superheroes. So we don't have to relate to them.
You're supposed to look up to them.
Yeah, you're supposed to look up to them. That's what I mean. And
the thing is that's why a lot of the social media reactions and stuff was like, I love this movie because it was me. And it was like, I could see myself in this movie. And that's what all the critics, they were like, oh, I've been through this. And it is remarkable. Like 88%, it was 95 before. Like 95% of the Hollywood critics were depressed, miserable, sad with their lives. And at no point thought, maybe my ideology and the way I live my life is incorrect if we're all just miserable gits.
Well, but they have to admit that they're wrong and they have to actually make change, and then they can't complain all the time.
It was astronomical though that there was that kind of follow through. But that's what this movie is made for. If you really enjoy wallowing in your own pit of depression, this is the movie for you. It was wild.
Yeah, if you like that sort of thing, then go see Thunderbolts.
Notice how no one solved any problem.
No.
Like, they're all in the same situation they were at the start of the movie. Nobody actually got better.
No, because they ran away from their problems instead of facing them.
Yeah, like, you would have expected them to go, okay, this is what was causing me misery. I have now fixed the problem, and now I'm in a better situation because I've changed my life. No. It doesn't happen to a single person. Walker's depression is caused because at some point his wife nagged him because he was in a room with his kid. And I'm like, I don't even know what's going on.
Yeah, that was. I was like, I was waiting for like something to happen to the kid or something, because like Yelena,
apparently it was
some kid
explained
gets...
in a previous movie. I don't know.
Oh, okay, I didn't see it, but like in Yelena's, which again they make you're supposed to watch all these other movies to understand. We don't want to do that, especially because they're not good. But yeah, so I don't know what happened with that. But Yelena's is clearly very traumatic, where the little girl, she lures her into the forest and she gets shot. And then him, it's just like, oh, you're on your phone, like, oh, you take care of him then, and then runs away. So maybe, like, I don't know what happens.
The child,
but
hello, you stupid cow. He's right there in a cot. Where's he going? You need to watch him. It's not Schrodinger's cat. He's not going to disappear out the universe if I don't observe him for half a second. It was the most ridiculous comment in the world.
No, see, if they made the movies good like they did Phase 1, people would understand because they would want to watch the movies. Me, no, I don't. The last Marvel movie I actually watched was, besides this, which sailed to high seas for it, because I don't trust it to be good for me to go 30 minutes away it's like 30, 40 minutes my nearest theater, and I'm not doing that to go see garbage. So the last one I seen in theaters was Deadpool and Wolverine, and before that was Guardians 3, because I'm just not wasting my time. I don't like going to see movies I don't like.
I don't think you missed anything. That was the last two that I would have even suggested, and I didn't even see Guardians 3. But that was the thing, and I think Ghost was, I didn't know anything about Ghost. I'm not seen the thing she was in before. But I liked the actress because I used to watch Killjoys, which she was really good in that, so I have no problem with her action scenes or whatever. And she had great superpowers, being able to teleport all over the place, to like phase out of existence and pop into existence. That's really powerful. And then they just nerfed her the entire time with the sonic weaponry that can stop her phasing, and gave her the worst personality possible, where she was just an insufferable cow. Like, you have destroyed what could have been an amazing character, with a great actress, just because you don't know how to write people. It was bizarre. The same with Bucky. I didn't care about Bucky. And I would
have liked more of him in this.
I'm not that bothered about character. I can't really remember the Captain America movie was in, and then I never saw the TV series, so it's never really been that big of a character for me. And I thought Walker was a better character in the movie, so I would have preferred, like, Florence Pugh should not have led this. Well, it's not against Florence Pugh. It was Yelena just has no personality. She was monotone all the way through. It was not. If Florence Pugh is a great actress, you couldn't tell from this movie. Whereas if Walker, I would have liked Walker to be Captain America. He should take over Anthony Mackie's job, judging from this movie. He was way better.
Yeah, well, I didn't see the Captain Falcon, whatever, that Captain America movie. I didn't see that one, so I can't judge it. But I heard
Falcon
it was not good.
with a shield. That was that movie.
Wow, that's cinema right there. Yeah, I don't know.
But there was stuff with this, like at the end. You were on about the ending. So they'd gone through everything, and Valentina, the most insufferable villain of all time, children's TV presenter. Oh well, what we're gonna do today is we're gonna do this, and she's really over the top all the time with everything. And then at the end, they were like, I think it was Walker was like, I'm gonna kill her. Like, well, you can't kill her. That's not what heroes do.
Was it Walker? No, it was. Wasn't it the Red Guardian where he's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna kill her"? Maybe it was Walker. Maybe it was both of them.
I think it was probably both of them were walking towards her at the end.
Both of them were like, "Let's do it," and they're like, "No, you can't do that." And then she's like, "Wait, yeah."
This is another good idea though, because now you've got different heroes that approach the world from different perspectives, and they want to kill Valentina, and you don't. It's like, well, you can debate, like, well, she deserves it. It's what she's gonna get. And like, well, we don't kill, we do this. That's not what heroes do. And you have that kind of battle. Instead, they walk through and she just goes, welcome to the new Avengers.
Dan's only saying hi to Disparu again. What the heck, Dan?
Hi, Dan.
Yeah, we're gonna be nice. Hi, Dan. But no, that scene, I thought that was a little weak, right? And then when she's just like, we own you now, I'm like,
it's not even true. How on in what way do they own her?
Yeah, hold on. Let's do a mic check for X-ray.
Oh, hello. Am I better?
Sounds good. Yeah, it's better.
Okay. I'm holding my breath.
I mean, sometimes it takes a while. Like, it took a while before to come in, but so far it's good.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Cheers. I'm still catching up on what you said because I've been only concentrating on the audio. Blah.
Okay, we caught up to the ending, and I was gonna do like some super chats while you were gone, but a couple of them are like talking to you too, so I'm gonna wait.
I just want more. Actually, I just want more Red Guardian, more Bucky, and I guess develop the other two characters. But I guess I didn't do the homework.
3 characters.
What, 3 characters? I don't know.
Yeah, there's Walker,
How many
Florence
are there?
Pugh, and Ghost.
Oh, Florence Pugh, I've seen enough of.
Yeah, no. So she's like, I stand by what I said.
For a lifetime.
Yeah.
No, it's fine. I think she's a good actress, but just not in this type of stuff. I want her to see her in more like girly stuff, you know.
Like it
dramas.
was definitely the directing, because nobody talks like this as an actress all of the time without being told to be stoic.
Oh my gosh, Dan. Sorry.
What's Dan doing to you?
Apparently
Nothing.
A girl is coming over.
Yes.
And he has enough time to either cut his toenails or shave his purse.
How big are his toenails?
I don't know.
I mean,
I don't want to know.
If by the time you get to cutting your toenails, that you actually have to schedule a time slot for them, they've got to be pretty nasty.
I was going to say, no toenails should take as long as shaving your purse.
Yeah, because you have to, it requires far more care.
Conversation.
Unless they've got to such a size that you need like a chainsaw.
Oh my God.
Hit the wrong button.
Yeah, that was like, no.
She wanted to
Wicked's like,
show.
this is my stream now.
Shut up about these coin purses and toenails.
I am
No,
the coin
I'm used to
now.
like I got used to Wicked's World again, and like I just clicked that instead of stop because when you hit stop sharing, like in your solo, it does the full screen. So like
You
my
hear that,
brain
chat?
just went
Sorry, I'm just used to being the center of attention. That's
there. Sorry, I just didn't want to look at Florence Pugh's face anymore.
Yeah, and they did her dirty. Like,
Did
she
you see
looks...
the video where someone was like, she have her nips out?
Oh my
It's like
god, that
she-
shirt is really hard to tell if they're out or
I
not.
just posted underneath just a bit of tasteful areola.
Yeah.
By the way,
I don't think they were. It was just the material of the shirt,
No,
but it's
100%. You could see
Did you
the
zoom in?
you could see
You
a
zoomed
bit.
in?
You didn't need to zoom in. You could see the areola and just like the tips. This is what it was.
She's got very small tips and areola then?
Well, no, I don't. It was like the top. What happened? They squashed. It was so tight. It squashed everything, and so you could like it fit everything together.
Yeah, that she should not be wearing that.
It was a horribly designed thing, especially, and I can't remember her name, but the one from Killjoys. You can't stand next to her in a badly designed dress and look good.
Yeah.
She looks good anyway. And she just wore like a jacket and showed everything. And so you were always gonna look worse.
Why didn't she wear that outfit in this movie? Also,
This has always been the thing in Hollywood. How women dress on the red carpet when they dress themselves compared to how they dress in the movies.
yeah, a huge difference. That I mean, I know she was in her depressed state, but seeing her in that like Uggo loose sweater outfit that she wore then, ugh. But I guess I've worn worse things when I've been depressed.
Yeah, she didn't even bother getting drunk. Like, no, I mean, she didn't bother getting drunk like on the couch or comfortably. She's like, I'm just gonna sit on the bathroom floor and lean against the tub and.
It was the way it was delivered. Extra
She's
girl
not
went,
even getting drunk.
Extra girl went, I know she was depressed. Yeah, she didn't even bother getting drunk. She was so depressed, didn't even drink.
She just had the bottle.
It's like, that's what I always do when I'm depressed.
I just sit next to the tub. I mean, that's how you cure it.
Hey,
but real quick,
I go in the tub and eat cheese and drink wine and cry to myself.
Well, it's
bubbles.
always the famous
You need bubbles
meme.
in there too.
Yes,
Bubbles make everything better.
I think it's from like a spell book, a witch's spell book, and it just goes, you can fascinate a woman by giving her cheese.
Absolutely.
I love cheese.
I love cheese. Cheese, it highlights parts of your brain that's like similar to what was it? What drug was it?
You got me? I don't know.
Serotonin? I don't know.
Huh?
Meth? I have no idea.
Okay, maybe I don't like cheese and I'm kidding. Cheese is magical.
There was an interview though with Florence Pugh where they just gave her cheese. She is massively into cheese.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, didn't she get like a block of cheese and she just ate it? I do.
Well,
love
that's where the
cheese.
meme started coming from. You can fascinate women with a piece of cheese. It was like, yeah,
I mean, it's not wrong. Remember that big wheel of Parmesan that me and X-Ray were obsessed with?
Oh
Was a gymnast that she had like a sponsorship or something?
Yeah, I want
well,
that.
there was also and it's one of those things you never know whether it's just someone made it up or whatever. But there was a story that went around. This one was like, I turned up on a first date, and rather than give me flowers, he gave me a wheel of cheese. So obviously, I didn't go to the date. And underneath, it's just a load of people going, "He's a farmer." Are you aware of how much a wheel of cheese is worth?
A wheel of cheese.
Yeah, he was a farmer. It was an entire wheel of cheese. Like, it's probably worth well over $1,000. And you were like, oh, I just want some flowers.
She deserves a better woman.
The wedge of brie is like $10.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
yeah.
Oh, give me that cheese, boy. I'm ready.
Give me that cheese, boy.
Like, I couldn't believe it. This is the weirdest gift I've ever been given. And it was an entire wheel of cheese.
Well, I will say it is a very weird gift, but I would appreciate
Not if you're a farmer.
No.
Not
absolutely.
if you like cheese. I love cheese.
In the grand scheme of gifts on a first date or a date in general, I'd be okay with that. Give me a bouquet of meat. That's great too.
It's because I think, especially
give me a steak bouquet, thank you.
Ooh.
Especially city people are kind of removed from nature or history or how things have always been. So when you watch Clarkson's farm, there's the guy that works on his farm. He's lived in like 15 miles. He's always traveled there. He doesn't want to leave anywhere else. He's always been in these farms, works the farms, lives the farms. His children are going to do exactly the same thing. To him, giving you a gift that he's basically made himself is probably all he's known. It's probably what his grandfathers did. It goes back throughout the ancient periods of time. And that's what he values because that's what he produces. That's the way he's always lived his life. So that's what means something to him compared to a bouquet of flowers, which probably comes from the other side of the country or a different country, has nothing to do with him, and he just gives over money. Like, people value stuff which are less valuable to basically everybody except your own interpretation. A cheese meat wheel.
I would like that. Have you ever seen those videos of raclette cheese? The cheese where they heat it and then it you scoop it out into sandwiches really good. Or pasta, or they make pasta in the wheel of cheese. So good.
I would just prefer the brie. You don't even need to heat brie for it to ooze out.
Oh my god! I'm gonna find the raclette cheese to show you because it's so good.
I think I've seen something before where the cheese was held over the places, and I think that slowly melted, and then they just got bread and sort of dunked it under all the different cheese as it melted. Sort of the same way that people would make kebabs, but with cheese.
Okay.
It's always slowly melting the next layer.
Real quick, this was a bit ago, probably at least 40 minutes ago.
I've seen this video. Yeah.
Oh yeah, oh so good. Raider sent $69.69 to PayPal and said, "For extra girl." $69.69.
Is that for my 2 holes?
Well, it's 4 holes.
He sent it during a different conversation, so.
Oh my god.
Look, you can choose either the belly button or one ear.
Oh yeah, we're behind.
Oh,
well, that was a deep Thunderbolts
You know what?
Conversation,
I need my ears. So if I get a damaged eardrum, so I'm gonna choose belly button, even though that might kill me too.
Yeah, but the ear would definitely kill you.
Yeah, it would definitely kill me. This might kill me down here, but
if you were blonde, it'd be fine. But any other thing.
Oh my god.
It
makes me think of that scary movie moment when he goes in the bathroom and it's the glory hole, and he is getting tickled by the thing, and then he puts his ear up to it, and he gets killed by
Oh yeah. Well, no, he doesn't get killed. He just he ends up with it's scary. Well, didn't he have the white patch on his ear? Because he was one of the killers in it. It was him and Bobby.
Was he? No, it was the guy who got high all the time. He wasn't a killer.
No, it was the other one. It was the other Wayne's brother.
Oh, I don't remember. Anyways, that just I don't know why I was just
that scene. Yeah.
Have you ever seen Ricky Gervais on Animals, the stand-up show?
No.
Oh wait, I might have.
There's a scene in that. Well, I say a scene. It's not a sketch, but he gets this book which is trying to show you what the author thought that animals got up to in the wild, and one of them was dolphins. And it's all these different positions that dolphins get into. One of them was in the blowhole. And he's like, can you imagine being the dolphin? And the other dolphin's like, can we just do it normally? He's like, no, it's in the blowhole or nothing. And then Ricky Gervais pointed out, these aren't photographs. These are artistic drawings that he's done himself.
Oh my god.
And so this guy essentially wrote a book where he just invented his own perception of how he thought dolphins did it and released it as a documentary book.
Oh my god.
She looks disgusted. She's horrified.
Okay.
This is what people just do. There was a guy, that traveled the world trying to find the best thing to wipe his arse with. And I can't remember who it was, but if I Googled, I could find his name.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant the best thing to wipe his butt was a person. I can't remember.
Well, no, he tested loads of stuff. He traveled the world wiping his arse with basically everything he could possibly think of. Try and find the best thing to do it with. And in the end, he determined it was a goose's neck. Because it's like
Ew.
the smoothest, it's waterproof, everything just rolls off.
But
And
a
if
goose
that's the
wouldn't
best thing,
behave.
you can imagine the rest of the stuff he tried. It's like
Yeah.
people used to have, without the internet and the TV, they had a lot of time on their hands. All right, there was an entire.
I don't know how this
species-
conversation got to this.
There was an entire species of turtle that the Brits went abroad. They'd capture. Like, okay, this time we need to name them. But to name them, they had to bring them back to England to get scientifically studied, so they could find out exactly what they were, their species, and give them a proper scientific name. Every time they came back to England, though, didn't have any turtles left on the boat. So they'd sail back, get more turtles than they did last
What were
time,
they doing
and bring them back.
with the turtles?
They'd
they died?
always eat them on the way back. And
Oh, I mean, turtles is...
it turns
Poor
out
turtles.
these turtles were so tasty, it was impossible not to eat them. And the Brits ate the entire turtle species.
Turtles back on the menu,
These
boys!
turtles never got a name because we ate all of them. It's meant to be the tastiest things ever in the history of the world.
It's true.
Where are these turtles from?
I don't know. This was a QI thing. They were on about the tastiness of the turtles. I'd have to.
I need to try these turtles. I've never had tasty turtle. When I tried turtle, it was like kind of like tough and gross.
This was a special they'd never seen these turtles before. They just could never bring them back to the motherland in order to get a scientific name.
And now they're extinct because of the Brits. They just got so hungry.
Look, there are people that would, like. There was one. This was another QI thing. There was a cat on a little island. It had a lighthouse on it, and the lighthouse keeper found a bird on his table. So what is it? I've never seen this before. So we sent it off. Brand new species of bird, never been discovered before. Flightless, because it was on an island, it didn't need to evolve. Bodies kept coming back. By the time that the information came back that this was a new species, never been discovered, what do you want to call it? His cat had single-handedly wiped out the entire species. It is the only time in history that one person has been responsible for the eradication of an entire species.
Damn, that cat got busy.
Cats are.
Well, it was a flightless bird. They didn't evolve. It's like pandas. Pandas would never exist.
Oh, they
except
are
in
horrible.
a little
I love
tiny
pandas,
reality.
but they're very.
They barely even want
clumsy
to have
and-
sex.
They just fall out of trees.
They just want to sleep and eat bamboo and fall out of trees.
Why do they climb so high when they just fall
The videos,
out of them?
the videos are so funny though. Like in China, like I don't know if you want to call them like panda
the
daycares.
panda keepers.
Yeah, when they're just they act like
holding
toddlers.
onto
just-
them, like dragging around.
Yeah.
Like, excuse me, I love you. Feed me.
But they sit in a chair and just fall over, or they roll
No,
down hills
like-
randomly.
My favorite thing, because we had a panda exhibit in Toronto, and like they will just take a poop, maybe roll over, and then continue sleeping right by their poop. Like a lot of animals will designate kind of a pooping area.
Not
Not
pandas.
It's just anywhere, everywhere.
All
No
right,
biggie.
I'm gonna catch up on super chats because we're like an hour behind. Sorry, guys. Hopefully you're
Hang on,
still
hang
with
on.
us.
In
Oh,
the
hold
next
on,
thing,
just
I
the
have,
queue.
I have found the article. Why it took Darwin 300 years to give the giant tortoise a scientific name. Even Charles Darwin ate them. It wasn't named by scientists because it was too delicious. No specimens ever made it back to Europe without being eaten on the voyage.
Oh
Compared
wow!
them to chicken, beef, mutton, and butter. Only say how better the tortoise was. Could feed several men. Its meat was fat. Oil was this.
Those Galapagos turtles. Okay.
It treated colds, cramps, indigestion, and all manner of distempers, and tasted wonderful.
Oh, I want to try this. Can we go?
Delicious
to
liver,
Galapagos?
bone marrow, eggs was the best anyone had ever had.
Eggs. I like eggs.
I love eggs.
Invaluable to sailors. Stacked helplessly on their backs, they could be killed and eaten as and when necessary.
They're just chilling.
Sucked up water gallons at a time and kept it in a bladder so that you could even have drinkable water on the voyage. You can understand, like, why sailors were like, "Oh, we need to keep all of these."
Yeah, this is gonna help us with the scurvy. Damn.
Wow. Never knew that. The more you know. Tune in to Saucy every Saturday. You'll learn something new.
The discovery section. Oh, should we call this the British sailing discussions?
Hold on. Ian had a good one. This is a phase of, thank you for the 50 pounds, by the way. This is a phase of Saucy Saturday that I like to call escaped disparu. There you go.
Yeah,
That's
if you
what we'll
just keep
call it.
talking, eventually you'll get to share what you're talking.
Staccato, thank you so much for a 50.
Oh my God.
2 ears and 2 nostrils is confusing. You're fine, X-ray girl. I don't even know if he's still here. So sorry. That was like an hour. Yeah, it was an hour
mean, he
ago.
was probably just thinking, what 2 holes was I even thinking of?
Yeah,
I'm not
my
saying,
nose. I was like,
chat.
Justin Martins for 5. X-ray girl here playing dumb, trying to convince everyone she's not that degenerate. Nice try, X-ray girl. You ain't fooling anyone.
To be fair, I actually was not playing dumb. I am dumb. Okay.
It's like it's not an act. It's for real.
even I didn't expect it when I was on about 3 holes and you went, my belly button? I was like, wait, what?
I miscounted.
Oh, no, that is way kinkier than I was expecting.
Oh my goodness. Alex Darby gifted 10 membership. Thank you so much, Alex.
Saucy.
Vercado, right? I think that's how you'd say that. I feel like I say that every time. The 3 of you work well together and give balance to the farce of the mainstream critics' view. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's the thing with the Thunderbolts critics. It's sometimes I disagree with their content of the movie. In this, they describe it accurately. It's just whether you like depression, basically.
Do you like depression? Well, we got the movie
Do
for
you
you.
like to wallow in a pit of your own despair? In which case, you'll like the Thunderbolts.
My question is, it'll be interesting to see how the drop off is, seeing as it is well received. Like Sinners, we saw had continued having legs the next week. It had one of the lowest drops from week 1 to week 2, and coming back to IMAX, I think it's pretty big. So, and it's not a universally loved movie, but if we have Thunderbolts, will the normie population go and watch this? I question it.
I think Raider may be in super chat jail. Thank you for the PayPal, Raider, and the message. Tell X-Ray Girl. I love how he can say he never says anything in the super chats, but then like in PayPal.
Hi,
Anyways, hi Raider. Tell X-Ray Girl to move to Alberta. They just voted to become part of the U.S.
Wait, what? Actually, do I get citizenship if I buy property in Alberta?
I don't know.
Asking for a friend.
Not me, a friend. We'll get a saucy.
I'm the
we'll
friend.
We'll get a saucy house in Alberta. It's part of America.
Oh, it's called Veercado.
Veercado. Sorry.
Thank you, Veer.
Got it. I'll remember. Veer.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Duppy Rider for 10. The biggest issue I had with the Thunderbolts team is 3 of them are just versions of Captain America, and 2 are martial artists with different gimmicks. There's no blaster / brick / scrapper and so on. Yeah, that's true. Is what the Red Guardian is a super soldier, Bucky, and then
literal just super serum.
Yeah,
that's all they are.
All 3. Yeah.
All 3 of them.
Ghost would have been the exception, but they just shut down her power at every single opportunity. She never really got to use it. And so she just came across as a normal person. Yelena is just a normal person. Makes them pointless. We were talking about it before the stream. There's a bit where a concrete block falls over. And so you have Walker, and he's trying to save somebody, and it's slowly crushing him to death. It was a good scene. But then the super soldiers come along and they start helping him. He's like, okay, we can hold this. And then Elena comes along and says, I'll push it.
See,
what are you gonna do? You're just a 4'5" woman. You're not special. Okay, so you've been trained your entire life. You can do martial arts, whatever. It's not going to increase your strength. You can't push concrete. Like, I'll do
Physics. I did think when they first crashed the vehicle into the building to go get Sentry, or Bob, I guess.
Bob.
Ghost did fight, and the scenes that she had, albeit very minimal, like it was cool to see her fight because we didn't see her do that at the beginning at all because she
I
kept on
really like
disappearing.
that fight scene, the
Yeah,
first one.
Like she phased, went through, turned around, and then punched the guy in the back. I'm like,
Mhm.
"Oh, okay, cool. Let's see more.
And
Yeah,
you
that
saw
would've
with
been nice.
Taskmaster, Taskmaster's power is that she can read other people's abilities and just immediately imitate them. But she actually can't imitate Ghost. She's almost like the perfect counter to them because, well, she just can't do what the other person can do. So it doesn't matter if you can read their abilities if you can't also imitate them. And so it worked really well. And it was almost like they knew she'd be OP in that group, and so they had to shut her down.
Mm-hmm.
Because
yeah, but
if you think to
I
the
can see
car
that.
scene, she was going to phase backwards and just annihilate all of them. But they needed Bucky to come in and say, well, we can't allow you to do that. And so they just shut her down at every opportunity. And
Yeah.
I used to watch superhero movies based on the powers of the... I never watched Ant-Man. Oh, you can get really small, I don't care. But I found her intriguing as a character. With a great actress, I saw her fight in Killjoy, so I would have believed her beating people up. But in this movie, it was like underwhelming.
Ian, for another 50 pounds, thank you. With other men and water-based lubricants disprove. This was during the
That-
pub talk.
yeah. You just need to get with men and drink.
Well, it's always been the point. This is one of the reasons why women invading male spaces have been so horrific. Because men will talk differently around other men than if women are there. Like,
oh yeah, women do the same thing.
They would not talk. No, but it's different because women will be like, I'm depressed and here's my emotions. And it's like, no, the men will actually talk about their problems around other men, but not around other women because they want to feel inferior to the women. They don't want to show the weakness to women. It's supposed to be the rock of the women. And so it's an entirely different mechanism. You don't get that. But it used to be the entire point that in pubs, they weren't like male spaces. And so they would just get drunk together. And it would be the sort of the brotherly bonding where it's like, yeah, we all went through something horrific. You know, we're going to take the piss out of each other, but we're going to do it with alcohol and deal with it through that. And people don't appreciate anymore how different everyone is. And it's deemed to be somehow like hateful or horrific if you even comment on it. No, we're all exactly the same. It's the most farcical thing in the world. And this is why in recent times, I actually don't know why a lot of people had the problem with the idea that you can just change between the two of them. Because they're like, well, if you think we're all equal, why would you care? If we're all the same, what's the problem with saying you're the other thing, right? But they had a problem with that. But then when you're like, well, no, we are different. We do deserve to be treated differently. And you can't just apply one thing to everything like this movie does. Then why do you suddenly expect us to be exactly the same? And why is it bad to talk about it?
Yeah. No, I get what you're saying. It's not a one size fits all solution for stuff like that, but that's kind of what they did, I guess, or what they tried to do. I don't know.
I just think that Hollywood can't appreciate anything different than them.
Yeah.
What it is.
Yeah, actually.
I can see that. And I think everyone deals with problems differently. However you do it, great for you, as long as you know how to deal with it.
Yep.
Whether it be drinking at a pub with your boys with lubricant or talking to your therapist.
Don't drink
or taking
lubricant.
A bubble bath with cheese
Even
and wine.
water-based, it's not entirely water.
I meant vodka, okay? It's the social lubricant.
I would also recommend not drinking vodka. That's just paint stripper. It's not meant to be consumed.
That just means you're definitely gonna fight by the end of the night. Lexicon Hellhound
Look, if
for
you
5
drink vodka, you have no taste and you deserve.
says fixing something like my tractor is the best antidepressant. Yeah, especially for men. Like women
building something
can like for women it would be like me if
crafting.
I like to bake or clean. So like just keeping my hands busy like in that sense. I mean like cooking, cleaning, and then men.
That
like
is dangerous because that's like we need the house cleaned. I'm going to upset her.
Yeah.
Hey, so it's manipulation.
It's like
It's like there's this
she
one.
needs to get in the bathroom.
There's this one influencer, her name's Haley something. You guys have probably seen her floating around because there's a lot of reels and stuff. She was like this model that now just like hosts red carpets and just like knows all these celebrities and posts like funny reels. Well, she used to do this thing where she pretended like she had a billionaire boyfriend, but she would never show him. She would have like one of her friends, like it was always someone different, like showing
like
the
a
hand.
cardboard cutout.
Yeah, well, yeah, she made it a joke. Like she's like, my billionaire boyfriend William sent me a dress that was 3 sizes too small. It's his way of telling me that I need to lose weight. I love him so much, like stuff like that, and it was really funny. People would get mad in the comments because it's clearly a joke, but like she just kept going with it. Like he just cares about me. It's funny.
It's just like a tiny bikini. He's like, no.
I won't fit in it, but I will
He
for
hopes
William.
I grow into it.
I'll get there. Yeah. Gary Thomas for 5. They disrespected Kurt Russell in Guardians of the Galaxy 2, and they disrespected his son Wyatt Russell in Thunderbolts. Sad.
Yeah, the weird thing about like I didn't know.
I didn't even put
I
that.
didn't put
That's
2 and 2
a
together.
good point.
But I've heard him talk about being a nepo baby, and he was like, "Yeah, it just makes your life way easier, obviously." But there was it was the pictures of the two of them look identical. Obviously, you're supposed to look like your dad and everything, but they look the same. They could be cloned. It was wild.
You want to think like this is like a little off topic, but it's I've heard this a few times. I think it's true, but it's just something I've heard. Maybe the chat can confirm. But I think Walt Disney's like last words is the last thing he like wrote down was Kurt Russell, and nobody really knows why. Like he was getting ready to do like a film with them. I mean, he was super young back then. Obviously, he was getting ready to be in a movie, but that was like the last thing he like communicated from some stuff that I've read. I don't know if it's really true. I think it might be, but that's just...
I would have thought it'd be like Rachel Zegler scratched out.
Just not even born yet. Don't let her be born.
It was just like Aussie. Nobody knew what it stood for.
Jason Webster, thank you for the Australian 5. Hi to the extremely endearing extra girl, the loquacious, wicked virtue, and rapid fire Disparu. Look it up, Disparu.
I swear.
Are you sure this is a real word, Jason?
All the others, yeah.
His last name is
Tending to
Webster.
talk a great deal. Wow.
Oh.
Wicked virtue with the big gob.
I do talk a lot. I'm a yapper. It's fine.
She's a very loquacious girl.
I am. I agree with
loquacious
that.
Sounds way better.
It works good for streams. That's probably why like Wicked's World works when I do it solo now, because I'm a yapper. I always got something to say.
Anything and everything.
Yeah, exactly. Jason, thank you for another Australian too. They should be named Prozac bolts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a good one.
It is a product of modern day Hollywood. It's they do definitely write what they know. Just depression. Yeah. It's like...
Especially after COVID. This makes so much sense.
There's a
on the casting couch. I'm sure they have a traumatic history.
There was a I think it was Capable Gentleman might have sent this to me. It was like a reel that was like a girl working in an office, and she had a sign on the back that someone put up there that was like, "Don't engage, she's a yapper." Like, yeah, that's me.
Like, hello, how are you? Well, it started when I was 6. That's my favorite thing when people are like, how are you? They just want to be, all right. Nobody actually cares. Nobody wants to know how you are when they ask that question.
Mike says the hug is probably the best way to resolve the stuff with Sentry. You can't really beat him in a fight.
Well, then he's a terrible villain. But you can't hug. This is the hug-a-hoodie thing. It comes down to, there are 2 ways that modern day society thinks you should treat villains. One is justice. It is, you get what you deserve. So you've hurt a load of people, now we're hurting you. The other is, no, but we're all equal and everybody's the same. They're not responsible for their actions. Society made them that way. And so you have to care for them. And if you care for them, if you give them the same upbringing that you had, they'd be just like you. The second, it's not meant for society. It's meant for your own home. It's meant for your children. That you can't really punch your child in the face. So you've got to love them into being better. It doesn't work in any story, though, or like a superhero story. The same with Arrow. Arrow was better when he shot people in the face. I hated Arrow, and he was like, I'm not going to kill people.
Yeah, he was like, I don't know. That show,
It
ended
fell
up being
off the deep
You have
end.
failed
It
this
did.
city. Death. That was the best bit of Arrow. You get what you deserve.
Mm-hmm. Hold on a second. All right. So let's do the Superman stuff now. We're caught up on Super Chats. Thank you guys so much for all the love tonight. We really appreciate it.
Mhm.
So this one, like I told I trying to tell people that aren't on the internet things like this, I feel like it makes me sound crazy. Like a conspiracy
I love how
theorist,
Gary's been
something
blamed
like
for this.
he's
Well,
like that.
to be fair, it wasn't him that released it. Like it got like he went viral. A
Because
lot
he's
of the
Gary.
time,
Yeah.
well, Chris Gore will break something, and then it'll be someone else who clipped it that gets the viral post.
Yeah, someone who read it and they get clips saying it. Yeah. So
Mhm.
yeah, I read this and I was like, we'll save this for Saucy, like to ask you about it because I'm like, actually, we'll know if this is actually true, not the story, but like if Gary broke it. So update via Nerdrotics, James Gunn hashtag.
I love the AI picture that they've put in the background of
It's
this.
good. He's just
Angry monkeys. Yeah.
the Superman rumors are said to be true. Superman, James Gunn using monkeys as revenge against online trolls. So, okay, plot leak. What bothers me the most about this, I believe it because I could see him thinking it's funny or just like, oh, I'm gonna be edgy and throw like, if people don't like this, they're trolls. Like, 'cause that's what they think
No,
of people
it's
like us.
self-obsession.
Yeah.
It's the same reason why in the military is Superman. James Gunn. It's the same reason he animated himself to do everything. He's obsessed with himself.
Yeah.
And
Or
I
his
do
dog
think
in
this is just
in the movie.
a commentary on him getting cancelled. It's a commentary on all the people that don't like his movies and other stuff before.
Yeah, self-insertion, which I don't understand
It's the
why
way he
these.
sees them. You're just monkeys on a
we're
keyboard.
we're the bad ones for
He just wants to
criticizing
see
him.
himself in the movie, okay, guys?
The
We've heard this
self-insertion that
before.
these directors and writers and stuff do, it's so lame. Like, okay, if you write a story about your life, like say it's like a true story and it's something interesting, that's different. But putting yourself in the shoes of like a superhero just because like maybe you got picked on when you were like 10 and now you're like, I'm gonna stick it to that one bully with this one scene in the movie or something like that. It's so lame. And it's just the thing is like Superman's sad over trolls.
Well, this
That's
is why I think it's a
ridiculous.
self-insert. Because it's not just trolls on the internet. It is mutated monkeys.
Yeah,
So
that's
the
too.
point is to
different
insult the
dimension.
people doing it rather than like okay, it would put him in the Superman position. I didn't actually think of that, but it's more to insult the people doing it. Like if you just talk on the internet, you're nothing more than a monkey to him.
I know the real twist. Lex Luthor is behind it all, using an army of mutant monkeys. Like,
Yeah,
it's so in
because it's
Man
so
of
random. It doesn't make sense unless it's a commentary on something.
Why would you go get an army of mutant monkeys when you could just pay Asians to do it? Have you seen like
or just like
some of
bots, like
With this,
AI,
that would be the normal
I
thing.
mean.
Yeah, you would just have an automated system. It's Lex Luthor. He has computers. The fact that it's monkeys is deliberate and intentional, and it's meant to
Yeah.
humiliate the people that do it.
Maybe the monkeys.
It is it's She-Hulk all over again. That's what it is.
Yeah, I didn't see that, so I can't. But it's so they did something similar, not
You missed
similar,
out.
but I'm sorry. I'll catch up
It's
one day.
Disproof's favorite
So-
show.
She's a total slag.
Up there
Henry,
with Buffy.
It
I
definitely
don't
is,
believe
yeah.
that at all.
100%.
So,
Would you
Henry
shag someone for
Cavill's-
half a bag of chips? Because She-Hulk would.
ew.
Some girls do it for like not even like a proper dinner, okay?
I love that reaction. We're like, but ew.
Because I actually like it went over my head for a second, and then I actually let it process.
Yeah, there was thought involved in that. That was why it was good.
Some people do it for even less than that. They just get the text, "You up? Okay, I'm coming over. I'll drive over."
But
Half a bag of chips, and then she obsesses over him for like 24 hours.
I can't remember if it was Man of Steel or Batman vs Superman, but Henry's Superman goes through like kind of like a not cancellation thing, but like where he's getting hated on, and he's not wallowing and all sad and depressed. He's just kind of like, why do people not like me? It's been a while since I've watched Man of Steel or Batman vs Superman, so I I don't remember the details, but I remember that he wasn't acting like a girl about it. And so they're gonna make him act like, I mean, think about the Superman that we grew up with. Could you picture like us three on the panel here? Like we seen, I think all of us have seen the Lois and Clark with Dean Cain. Could you imagine like he gets on the computer, like it's an episode, he gets on the computer and he's like, oh man, they don't like Superman. I'm just gonna stay in my apartment now and not save the world and be like depressed. It's so stupid. It comes back to like heroes get knocked down. This is very lame, like to let words hurt you when you're a freaking
But that's
superhero.
what they're
And
writing. That's all
yeah,
they know because
yeah.
people do it all the time. How many times have people just gotten so upset and yelled into their comments when people are like saying mean things? That's the thing, is when you are in these positions where your name is bigger, you're doing big projects, you're gonna get haters regardless.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but the point has always been, you are right, that they're writing themselves into it. So why do people in Hollywood do good deeds? Why do they donate to charity? Because it's virtue signaling. They want to be known to be good people, so they do good things, and then announce it to everybody, because that is the reason why they're doing it. The point of Superman is, I'm doing this because I'm the person that can. Like, nobody else can do this. It's my duty to do it. And so I'm just going to save you because I'm a good person. This is what I do. It's my duty to do it.
Yeah.
I have the power. You don't. I'm going to use this power to save you. So it actually doesn't matter whether the social media trolls. It doesn't matter what anyone thinks because he's going to do it anyway. Whether you thank him for it, whether you hit him afterwards, it's fine. He's still going to save you. This is why the Thunderbolts were like, oh, we're all really... It doesn't matter. Shut up. You don't matter. Do it anyway. That's the heroic thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They make so many sacrifices. I mean, we've seen it. Use Superman as an example when in the Man of Steel, when he can't go save his dad because they don't want to. I mean, he could have, but like the way they were telling the story,
faster than you can see.
Absolutely.
But that was you know, him making a sacrifice.
Bad script writing. That's what
Yeah.
it was.
It was. He could have saved him. You're absolutely right. That was a big thing that everyone was mad about. But he makes a bunch of sacrifices, like, you know, in the Superman and Lois show, Lois and Clark, you know, he almost like loses Lois at certain points because like they have date plans because he's got to go like to the other side of the planet to, you know, go save a baby stuck in a tree or something. You know what I mean? Like he's constantly going and saving people and he can't say anything about it. And he, instead of being selfish and just, okay, you know, I'm going to go on that date and do this. He doesn't, he sacrifices, you know,
that's my other problem with the trailer.
Thing.
There's a scene in the trailer where there's the big eye monster in the background firing lasers, murdering people. And what's Superman doing? He's in his room talking to Lois about his feelings.
He wouldn't be doing that.
What Superman or a hero would do is they go to Lois, shut up, and piss off, and then they'd go and save him. And if she had a problem with that,
words, and then push her off a roof.
She's not good enough to be with him because
he didn't hear it.
The person that would be with Superman understands that she's irrelevant compared to the needs of the Earth. You know, it's like, well, obviously to save those people, I don't need to wallow in my own pit of despair right now. But the way Hollywood is, they think they matter. And the entire point of all this stuff is you are irrelevant compared to the needs of everybody else. That's why you are the peak people. And instead, I still think it's because, well, everyone's equal, and so the lives out there are the same as my life. It's like, no, your life is redundant compared to everybody else's.
You know what's crazy? Like, how Homelander in The Boys, his character, he's very selfish. He doesn't care. He's all about the PR. I feel like a lot of Hollywood reflects a lot of those ideals and personality traits that he does have.
Yeah, they're trying to make it like, oh, he's, you know, they've been very vocal that he's supposed to be Trump, but it's like you guys are actually hitting it more that it's but it does reflect more on just how they are and how they act. So you're right. I never even thought of that. That's a good point.
The reason that it always happens, this is why in Robin Hood, but there's also been many other series, their morality is so, this is what progressivism is, right? What you're advancing towards something, which means you're moving away from something. You're moving away from traditional morality. It's always is all the time to your new thing. So you're marching towards what would essentially have been called evil, and you're leaving behind what was good. And so you end up at polar opposites of morality, which is why all of It's the same in Willow. Their heroes are evil, their villains are good. It is the exact opposite view of everything. And it's why in Robin Hood, that their villain was the hero of the entire piece. He was the best character. This is why they see Homelander as evil and everybody likes him. Because he embodies everything they despise, which is what other people think is good. And they can't see it. And they don't understand why audiences don't reflect that. They're completely non-self-aware.
It's true.
I'm interested to see how involved this is. I know Gary had mentioned it's not like a huge plot point.
That's like a short little scene in the movie. That's what I heard.
Probably, but I mean, I will have to see it to believe it, because I highly doubt this is the huge bullet point of the movie.
From the leaks, I can't remember who said it. I don't even know if it was Gary that said it once on a stream.
It was Gary. Everything was from Gary.
It's always Gary.
I'm sure somebody said that the scene between Lois and Clark in that was like 20 pages long.
Oh, I don't know about
which is a long time in a movie theater. It might have been Chris, actually.
Chris releases a lot of stuff too.
Yeah, I think this was before he's like, I'm not going to leak anything anymore because I get blamed for it, even though I'm just reporting what I've heard. But I'm sure somebody said it was like a 20-page scene, or it was a random leak or a rumor or whatever. It was before the trailer came out with the pictures of them and stuff. And it was supposed to be like basically a domestic between them. It's a long time to talk about your feelings as people are dying in the background. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't see Superman doing that. He'd be like,
No.
I know this is important to you, but people are like...
I don't even think he'd care. I actually think if he's like, oh, and he'd just go. It's like, it doesn't, you are irrelevant at that point. And if you can't understand it, you're dumped. Like, Lois isn't that important to people dying in the city. And I think any person on Earth would be like, well, obviously they're more important than you if you can't understand me, you're a selfish cow, and I don't want to be with you. I don't think there's any way to spin that.
Well, people are naturally selfish these days. Despero, like,
Yeah,
what
but not
about my
superheroes.
feelings? What about my truth? Oh my god.
Well,
Everything's
that is
about
exactly.
me.
People can't stand those people. That's exactly my point.
Wait, oh god. I'm watching Love is Blind and I'm almost done. And there's this one couple where it's so crazy because she brings up the social justice warrior stuff, BLM, her sister's a lesbian, et cetera, et cetera. And he's like, I thought we talked about this, that you accepted. I realize this is like very important, but like I don't understand why it's being brought up again. And she's like, I just think it's an important conversation. I'm like, so what's important about it? Why don't we expand on this? And I think like that type of person just doesn't know past the speaking points that they've been fed.
There's a lot of people like that, yeah. It's essentially they believe it because it's the dominant ideology and they think it will give them an advantage in life.
And it's such a selfish thing to do, to dominate a conversation, just saying, I need to boost my own self-ego by saying these points so I get social credit.
Yeah, it's they think it gives them a social advantage, definitely. And they don't want to be with other people that don't agree because then, well, you can't take them anywhere, right? You can't take them to a dinner surrounded by people because what if they said something that lowered your social status? It's a horrible way to be. But it's a way. You also have the people where it's like, well, it's just easier. So just tell me what to believe. I'll believe it. I don't really care. And I'll just go along with it. And this is why a lot of the ideology of a nation is just what people think the most powerful thing is, which is why social media and everything was so powerful, because you only had to own a few sort of institutions, and then you could give a false perception that everyone believed this thing, even if it wasn't true. But that would cause people to start believing it. Humans are
we're lemmings.
Animals.
That makes me think of that Black Mirror episode from, I don't think it was last season, maybe the season before, where you rated people, and if you said something wrong, and like you couldn't get into the social credit. You couldn't buy in certain communities unless you had like a 3.8. Yeah.
Oh yeah, and it would like go into a wedding and completely destroyed it and stuff.
Yeah, he kept on. Yeah,
that was also in Orville. They had a very similar episode.
I mean, we're kind of
like
at
Orville.
that point. We're getting
good.
there. I think we are getting there. You know?
Oh yeah, 100%. We're probably already there, or we were very recently. It's just obviously not as in your face, but we did reach a point, and so you can go say one word, say something, you get recorded, you go viral on social media, and you get fired from your job. How is that any different, really? When
It's just not a number, I suppose. Yeah.
Yeah, the witch hunt used to have real power. Because, oh my God, we're getting bad publicity. People are messaging us going, do you support this? Do you support this? People going to sponsors and stuff. Oh, how can you possibly be this? It was the same thing as, what do people analyze it to? There's a billboard in a city and somebody's smoking underneath it. And they go to McDonald's and go, do you condone smoking? Like, at no point throughout all of history or the world is that ever done, except on the internet, where just being shown next to something, you must condone it. It's a wild, thing to have as an idea. But you're on about Love is Blind or whatever you said, the reality show. Do you know in 3 days, second series of Devil's Plan?
Wait, what?
Mm-hmm.
I still need to watch that.
On the 6th
Wait,
of May,
are they
second
dropping
series.
one per week, or how are they doing?
I don't know. I just know it's starting on the 6th.
Okay. Oh my god.
I gotta watch it. I wasn't not into it. I don't know what happened. Like I never like I watched. I think I watched the first episode. I don't know. It's on Netflix, right?
Yeah, but the funniest part is on this browser I don't have Twitter pulled up. I posted David Tennant over here as he's doing a reality TV show.
Oh, you want to? I have the thing. You want me to share it?
Yeah, it was. He's doing a reality TV show, and it's based on a South Korean reality TV show, like The Devil's Plan.
I don't think people will understand it as well.
That's exactly what happened.
And wait, is he doing it in the UK or?
Well, yes, because that's where David Tennant's basically known. But
Yeah.
they switched off, and they had the same complaint, and it's basically they don't understand what's going on.
The rules are very complicated in these games, like really
Inspiration from a
complicated.
South Korean TV show. It's too complicated. They don't understand the premise. Now, Devil's Plan specifically pointed out the intelligence of the people involved when they went in there, and the rules take like 20 minutes to explain. Now, these are new games, so I guarantee you this has been dumbed down.
Who are they celebrities coming in
I think
here,
they're
or like
just random people.
influencers? Oh, random people. Because you kind of have to pick like really smart people. Even if it's half the level of the South Korean Devil's Plan show, I don't know if you can get normal people to solve these things and be able to.
It's also not just the people involved, but the audience has to understand what's going on. And apparently because for a start, this is the first episode, and his viewership died. It's like 1.2 million or something. It was ridiculously low, which means David Tennant isn't even a draw for this. People aren't even giving it a chance, and the ones that didn't like it. They didn't like him. He said he was a terrible presenter.
Did you watch it?
No, I want to, though. I'm going to watch it this week
You
after I get
should
Doctor
do
Who
a
done.
review.
Yeah, after Doctor Who's got done, I'm going to watch it.
Read some of these. I want to hear
Okay.
this
Let's
in
see.
disprove voice.
Oh yeah. Do you want to? Here, I'll just do this.
Wait, I go down to this genius game is needlessly complicated. So do you have to be a genius to understand the genius game? I have completely no idea what's actually happening. Shocked face, cloud out of his forehead. I've given up on this already. This was a really good premiere. I'm a bit worried the general public can't understand the games. But for me, it's about smart people trying to outsmart their peers, and I loved it. I think that's his way of going, I didn't get it either, but I'm happy that smart people exist in the world. Sorry, it's a no from me. Way too complicated for that time of night. I need mindless entertainment after a busy day. ITV should have just extended CPPs, which is our children's TV series.
Oh,
show.
you know, like Big Brother is the extent of smarts I think you should be reaching for American audiences on
these are the
reality
Brits.
television.
I think this was just a local ITV show. I don't think it's reached over there.
Would it be the same for the UK though? Like, I think Big Brother is like as good as it gets.
Well, I've always said Devil's Plan, you couldn't make it over here.
And look at
also,
this.
Well, this is the thing. But it does say with this, it's all new games. So I guarantee you they've dumbed it down. And it's still too complicated. There's no way I really want to watch the South Korean version of this first. Because I guarantee you it's more complicated.
I like that last review.
I didn't understand the rules fully. Most relatable contestant ever.
Yeah, we need simple rules. I think
The rules on rules are something else, and that's what Devil's Plan had. I do think they're going to be very similar.
I like that the Devil's Plan had complicated games, but then they also had a game where you had to work together so that you still had the social, you had to keep up that social aspect of the game. Plus, Koreans are a lot more respectful to their peers, I think, than
Americans or
Americans, even Brits. I don't know Brits very well, but I saw maybe some
more respectful of their peers
Shorty Shore. So it's like it won't come across. Maybe do a Squid Game. I could see a Squid Game.
Squid Game would work. The Americans would stab each other in the back in a second. It was like...
Yep.
But the other thing with this was people kept commenting how David Tennant didn't even seem like he was there at the time. It seemed more like a voiceover that was added on afterwards in post-production, and he was really bad at explaining stuff. It didn't really make sense. And Devil's Plan is very well edited, so they give you like 20 minutes of instructions, but then as the game's going, they will show you parts of the game and re-explain it. And they do bit by bit by bit. And then they even they cut together the contestants explaining their specific situation. And not in the American way where they'll have them in the background talking or whatever, but they find clips of them explaining strategy and stuff to each other because they're confident that each other will understand it. Whereas I think in the UK, they'd be way more individual. And I think if there was smart people there, they'd just be, I don't think that person's going to understand it, so I'm just going to tell them to do things. And they'll either be clever enough to understand they need to obey the smartest person in the room, or I'll just ditch them and find somebody else.
They also have to be social about how smart they are, because no one likes a know-it-all either.
In the Devil's Plan, there was know-it-alls, and I felt like in the Devil's Plan, people respected intelligence rather than
I don't think it's
intimidated by it.
Maybe would translate over as well, though.
Yeah.
I don't want to be told what to do by another
I think
contestant.
That's the individual part when they're like, well, I don't want to be ordered around. It's like, yeah, but he's clearly superior to you. Again, I think it's the equality thing. Well, I'm equal to... No, you're just worse. You're just a stupid person who you're pissing told. That's the way that it should be done. And it feels like in South Korea, they are far more aware of like the social hierarchy. And so they just, I think he's just better than me. So I'll do as I'm told. I think it was a lot more than that.
The one YouTuber was like, I know I'm not smart, so I'm going to listen to...
Yeah, the biggest lie, the worst lie people have been told is you're all the same as everybody else. And no, you'll actually do better if you find someone better than you and just do what they do, you'll be better off.
Yeah. I think the easiest way to learn that is just living with people. You'll know what people are good at.
Yeah. You don't know someone until you live with them, I feel like.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, people can fake anything. This is why the entire first date system is just a farce.
I've always said you're the best liar.
Anybody can fake being a person for a first date.
You show them what you want them to see, both sides.
Yeah. Yep. And then it's about the 3-month mark that the veil starts to come down in terms of the behaviors that you might have masked.
Yeah. Yeah, because you can't fake it for too long. But that's why, like...
Do you think that's true for men? I don't think men would keep up a farce for 3 months.
Oh, it depends on what the farce is. Like, maybe how clean they are at their apartment.
It depends. And some people, like, not even just guys,
I always
women
thought
too
men
in
would
general.
be far more transparent than women when it came to that kind of thing.
I mean...
And maybe.
Probably far more transparent. But there are still things that you'll find out as you're, going through the dating process.
Mm-hmm.
At least in my experience. So nothing that's been like, oh my God, ugh, that I can remember example wise.
But yeah, because there's always going to be some stuff that just never comes up until you live together, and then you're like, oh, that's not putting forward a front. It's just you don't experience it until you like in the same place all the time. When it comes forward to like putting forward a false personality, it's not something I would have thought men were that good at. Not really my area.
Some are good at, not all. And then I think we're just around a lot of blunt people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there is that, what was it? The Tindler swindler who always got the rich women and they were like giving him loads of money, and he was like, no, I'm an MI6 secret agent that actually this country's after me and I need 20 grand to leave the country. And like he takes them on helicopter rides and hotel trips with other people's money, and he just goes around the world from rich woman to rich woman pretending he's a spy.
That was like such a crazy like thing to happen, like women after but hey, kudos to you for figuring that out. But then, did he actually get arrested in the end?
I don't know. It was an incredible story. I think probably.
Because you're not supposed to do stuff like that, steal money. So I'm sure he
don't steal. Probably something. I mean,
but the thing they give it willingly, but it's like the same thing with people who.
Oh, it's definitely fraud.
Yeah, it's definitely a type of fraud, but it depends on if he could get.
He was arrested in Dublin.
Oh. Damn. Well, is he still in jail? I would assume so at this point.
Weirdly, the Irish Times doesn't link to it. Well, the link's gone. Oh, arrested over scams.
Yeah. People are very good at hiding stuff if they have a will for it. So, yeah. I love how chat's talking about farts.
I know, I saw that. Before we go on to, and I have like at least one more topic that I'll bring up. I'll get these super chats here. Ian, thank you for the 50 pounds. This brews like totally those yappers. I don't know how they do it anyway. Yep.
No one has ever accused me.
Yeah, you can even say that without laughing. Like, yeah, I can talk.
I have been on streams where they're like, and this is the end of the stream, close it. And they're like, really know how to talk. And I was like,
well, just maybe. Yes. That's why like FNT, everyone is a talker for the most part. So it's kind of hard to get a word in. Yeah. Unless you know how to.
Just, as soon as there's like one taking a breath. Okay, so
the start of the last stream, because everyone wanted to talk about the Thunderbolts. There's a weird thing in the UK, right? So if people are in a communication and you all start talking, and somebody else is clearly trying to start talking, you'd be like, okay, they're talking next. Whereas in that, it was like, didn't matter if someone was trying to talk. He's like, no, I'm going to be next. Like, they hadn't talked before, and everyone just jumped in. And it was you could only start talking about the Thunderbolts. Maybe, I think I first spoke like half an hour into the stream, because eventually people calmed down. And it's like okay, now it's a bit more relaxed.
Now it's your turn.
Yeah. And people ask why I'm so quiet.
I know, I've said that. I remember when we first started Saucy, people were like, wow, I didn't know X-Ray Girl talked. I'm like, yeah, but she's on a big panel, and like people sometimes would forget that you're the producer. So you're doing a lot behind the scenes there. And again, like even a panel just with like us three people, I feel like that's
tough
good
to get a word in sometimes.
Yeah, that's good to like keep the flow going, but more than like FNT, that's a huge panel. So it's like it's definitely hard to get words in. And like Disbrew just said, everyone really likes to talk too. So Ed's song for 5. The part I love most is that gun Superman flying face, only slightly better than the rock flight from Black Adam, EFAP face. Thank you, Ed. And Chris Nicholson for 5. I'm stuck working a 12-hour shift on my birthday. Happy birthday, Chris.
Birthday. I'm sorry you're working.
Think of it as having 12 hours off.
You get
to sleep for 12 hours on your birthday.
Thank you for keeping me entertained at my desk with a legitimately interesting conversation. Thank you, Chris, and happy birthday, chat. Wish Chris, happy
Belly
birthday,
buttons,
please.
like,
Yeah.
Yes,
are they
belly
good
button
enough? Do they actually
conversation.
work? How
Would
deep
you
does a
ever
belly button
use-
have to be?
Would you ever use a belly button as a whole? Chat. I'm
Oh,
just
gosh.
curious.
I remember someone who like, you don't have an outie, that means you're not an alien. I'm like, you are a weird freak.
Who said that? Just people.
This was someone in university many years ago, but there is legitimately like an outie versus innie stigma for some people. They're like, this is weird.
Psychotic Mongoose, thank you for the 5 pounds. The football manager Brian Clough used to tell some players, your teammate is better than you, so when you get the ball, just pass it to him.
Yes, I was always defense or goalie, and that was like my goal was block the ball, kick it off to someone who's going to shoot goals. Yep.
Yeah, I
People
mean,
have-
if you want to win, this is how it
People have-
works.
People have such a problem nowadays with even the discussion that we're not equal. Like, no.
Yes, because we live in a
you
time
can sit
where
in
you get-
any room and just organize yourself into a hierarchy.
We
It's
live in
supposed to be
the
instinctual.
we live in the time of participation trophies. Stupid. You lost the game. Well, here you go. Here's a true. No, you lost. Get better, and then you get a trophy. Like,
Well, and then you're making us pay for more fees on giving participation trophies. I'm just,
Mhm.
I'd
here,
rather
she's
say.
like, I don't want to pay for them. Thank you.
I can't remember who. I think it was Jack D. Famous comic over. Well, it used to be famous comic over here. He focused on kind of depressing comedy himself, and he was like, "Why on earth do we celebrate the English football team coming home? You know, they're on a bus, double decker. They're on the open top, being celebrated with crowds on either side of the street. When they come back and they always lose. It's like." Why are people even throwing them like money and flowers? Throw a coin at them. Be like, yeah, here's 20p for the toilet next time you piss yourself on the field, you useless git. It's like, that's the kind of British chivalry I prefer.
And Jesus Davila gifted a membership. Thank you so much. Didn't want to miss that one. Okay, so
Risk it.
For the
What?
biscuit.
You said, I don't want to risk that one.
no, miss it. I said I don't want to miss it.
So I was like,
It's
what's
okay.
dangerous about it?
So we have this little topic here. I wanted to get your thoughts on it. I'm not really surprised, but Grand Theft Auto 6 is now set
Oh, I have
to
an article on
release on May 26th. It was supposed to release this year, a whole nother year. I like the first thing, me and the boys when GTA 6 comes out.
That meme is hilarious. I'm okay with like delays as long as the game is better. It happens. Although it's been delayed how many times now?
Quite a few.
Yeah.
I like
So-
GTA, and I like that it's going to be set in Florida, so I'm going to get it. I don't really, I don't trust Rockstar like they used to make some really good games like Red Dead Redemption. But we'll see. Like a good sign could be that when some of the stuff came out and they got criticized a bit, they might change it. I want them to just stick to their regular formula that they've done with GTA.
That's
They
not gonna
might make
happen.
it. They're probably
No.
gonna make it woke, but I hope not. Because I really just want an entertaining. We've waited so long for GTA 6. The thing is, if they make it woke, it's gonna hurt them because they made us all wait so long, and there's gonna be people that just like they're not gonna buy it because of that.
How can you make it woke when you are some sort of type of gangster who beats women of the streets and steals cars? Like, I always found that
That's what I
like,
mean.
strange.
It would be strange, but I feel like they could find a way. I hope they don't. I'm not gonna be surprised if they do. I really, really hope that they don't. But they can make it like there was I forgot what the one thing is. I know you can't say
Saints
this word.
Row.
I didn't like Saints Row.
Well, Saints Row is the thing which is
The
very
newest
similar.
one.
They released the new one, and they had it before. They were all gangsters. They were going around. It was like a parody of GTA, is what it turned into.
It was really
Yeah.
fun
And
to play.
I
the
liked
one
the
played.
first one. Like I remember liking the first Saints Row, but I know there was a lot wrong with the last one they released that people were saying.
Like they turned them from gangsters into students that just turned to crime because they wanted to pay off their student loans. And they were all the Californian kind of stereotypical blue hair, all that kind of stuff. And I remember, it was one of my first videos that took off on the channel, and they were talking about how we made a lot of mistakes in the past. This is a new modern time. We're hiring people that have nothing to do with anything before, and they came across as ashamed of what they'd created, and they're trying to change for the future. So quite a while ago at this point, 2022, Jason Schreier released this about how Rockstar have cleaned up their frat boy culture inside the studio, and they're going to make it with a new tone, a change in creative direction, and it's going to feel different from its predecessor.
We don't want different. We fear change. No, I'm just kidding, but
I'm
seriously.
hearing the American right now.
In 2020, a police officer killed George. That's how the article starts. And this is, it's basically, this is one of the political sensitive things. Developers are being cautious not to punch down by making jokes about marginalized groups, the people said, in contrast to its previous games.
So they're going to make it where you can only beat up white people and steal their cars?
It's only Teslas, okay?
Moves like this seem unthinkable for a company whose best-selling franchise is a satirical depiction of America that involves playing gangsters who kill civilians, where women are mostly depicted as things that you run over after paying them for various different products. It was a nihilistic parody through insults at everything. Inside the company, the tone wasn't much different, but the employees described a workplace culture full of drinking, brawling, and excursions to strip clubs. Sounds like a great place to work.
I mean, that's what GTA was.
You can understand why they're in Scotland, can't you? But it was a symptom of an early symbol of industry-wide problems. No, it was a symptom of this is what happens when you have a male-only workplace. This is just how men behave.
You get a fun game?
And the thing is, it's ignoring the fact that these things were fun to do in the game.
Yeah, it's not that you're going to try to do it in real life. Yeah, it's a game. Exactly. They're making it seem like you're going to go out and just like start stealing cars. And
you know what? This is like a Dust Porn 2.0. I'm feeling it now.
This is why this is why the delay might be the shining light in the darkness. That with everything that's happened, all the games that have flopped, what was it? The first person shooter that flopped? I can't remember the name. It's not Conclave.
Concord?
Concord. Yeah, with stuff like that, maybe they went, this is really bad. We need to strip the game of this and replace it with things. We need to return
in the wallet.
To tradition. Maybe that's happened. But it does say, since the outcry, Rockstar has attempted to reinvent itself as a more progressive, which, like I say, just means evil, compassionate workplace. According to interviews with more than 20 staff who work there. One employee described it as a boys' club transformed into a real company. Now, it's more effeminate, like I understand. Yeah, that's exactly what it means.
That's not good.
They only understand real and correct as themselves. It's a kinder, gentler Rockstar.
Okay, no. I don't want kinder, gentler GTA. I want to find a pretty car and steal it and throw the person out, speed off, accidentally run into a fire hydrant, and then continue going. I just want to beat people up. I want to beat people up and go on adventures.
This is where we find out Wicked's true desires. It was like,
wants to cause crap.
Yeah, that's what it's supposed to be, though. My favorite GTA game is still San Andreas. I mean, I love that game so much.
And the transformation of Rockstar includes its changes to scheduling, converting contractors to full-time employees, and all of this is like, we turn to unions.
More money.
Yeah. What's wrong with contractors? Well, it's not progressive.
So what I'm hearing is this game is going to cost more.
Yeah, flexi time, paying extra for hours. Yeah.
Well, because of the tariffs, they're probably going to say Xbox is raising their prices because of the tariffs. Everything's going up.
But what? It's going to be a digital game. Most people are buying it. It's going to be a digital game.
But they're still going to blame it on the tariffs. I'm telling you. A year from now, they'll be like, well, because when we were developing it, there was tariffs and it cost us more to develop. They'll find a way.
Rockstar put into place a new management structure following departure of former design director Imran Sarwar, who was accused by several employees of bullying and a verbal abuse. So in other words, you did a crap job, and he said you did, and you got offended by the hurty words. Like, okay, I really don't care if someone in the workplace gets sworn at, as long as they make a good game. Some people need to be sworn at in order to make their best work.
Yeah. Sometimes you gotta yell at people, and they're so sensitive and fragile. Like, your words hurt me, and now I can't come to work tomorrow.
Many others, however, say they're content to work at a company where there's very little pressure to get a game out the door. They're lazy, they don't have to do much, and so they're slow. But it's like, yeah, I don't have to do any work, Twitter. It's amazing.
Is there a wine dispenser as well?
Oh, like there was in Twitter? Oh, those day in the life.
Yoga, therapy sessions you can have during the day.
What a workplace. You know what? I'm feeling very stressed, so I'm just gonna go to the wine bar and then do some yoga for a few hours and then go home. But I still expect to get paid.
You know what I've never cared about when I'm playing a game? Not a single... It doesn't even enter my head for a second. As one staff member pointed out, overhauling their culture could help with retention and recruitment, as well as to lead to games that are better for the people working on them. I don't care what a game's like to work on, only what it's like to play. It could be the worst thing you've ever worked on, the most hardest hours, the biggest crunch time.
No one's going to think about that. Same thing with movies, right? No one talks about all the work that went into CG editing, all that. I don't know what goes into that. Prep.
Wait, the customer is only meant to care about the end product.
Yeah.
How it arrived is irrelevant. And this is all I'm talking. Well, it's better for the workers. Yes, but if those workers are now awful and they make a terrible product, I only care about the end product. So I have no faith. The longer the delay is, the more chance it is that we move away from 2022 and they change their mind. Is the only hope. But since that article, I've not really cared about GTA 6 very much.
No, it's the hype is going to just keep dying down. They keep pushing it back. So you're right. This might be a good thing because they might be seeing that, okay, every other, they might finally get the, like, it's so like overused, like the go woke, go broke stuff. But for real, like, especially with these games, we're seeing that they did not make money. So maybe they're finally going to pay attention and not go that route. If they do, they're just really stupid. Like, after seeing all that's happened with the recent games that were released and they decide to still go that route and delay it another year, people are they're gonna be done. I mean, of course, there's gonna be the handful of people that do still enjoy it, but I mean, I do hope that this means that they're changing any stupid crap that they put in the story and they're just gonna go back to original GTA formula. That would be smart.
Well, if you remember GTA 5, it was essentially the N-word simulator. It was how many times can we spam this word?
I never actually finished the GTA 5 like story. I just played online with friends all the time. I loved GTA 5 online. I played it all the time. That's what I pretty much did.
Hey, the N-word is powerful. You can get paid for saying that now.
Hey, dude. I mean, GTA got paid a lot from their shark cards.
Oh yeah, the lady? Is that what you're talking about? The lady at the playground? That went over my head for a second. That there's the memes going around of her just like with her tongue sticking out. Have you guys seen that? She's like,
I've not seen memes. I just know.
No, there was like a video someone sent me of her like doing that to the camera because he's recording her, and she's just like, oh. Well, we won't talk about that right now. We're talking about GTA.
Sorry, you brought up the N-word. I couldn't help it.
Well, this, no, but in GTA, I can't remember the guy's name. But it was ridiculous the amount of times he'd use that word, and it was almost like a teenager just discovered it, was trying to work out its true power. It was so over the top, it became a meme in itself. And you just spam it. It's like every line, twice a line. It was ridiculous. But that was what GTA used to be. That was about as edgy as they could get. I don't even think... My favorite GTA game was actually GTA 2. I preferred the 2D top-down version.
That wasn't Vice City, was it? That was 3?
No.
Vice City was 3?
I like 3.
Yeah, 3 went 3D.
I like Vice City.
2 was the last top-down version. But the reason I liked it is because you could mod cars. So you could have like oil slicks. They basically make James Bond cars. So you'd have machine guns out the front, oil slicks at the back. You could drop spikes and stuff. It was amazing. And they stopped all the car modding and things really in the 3D ones.
Vice City was the first I played. I don't know if I played 1 or 2, to be honest. Vice City was great, but it was Vice City, and then San Andreas is still my favorite. It was just so good. And the lines, people still make memes and everything out of it. Like was it Big Smoke was like, I want some extra dip with extra dip. That meme like picked up again like a couple years ago, and I was like, this is from San Andreas, what? But yeah.
No, that one wasn't my favorite. Maybe it was Vice City. I have to go off the map, which are the 3D ones.
Yeah, look them up because I'm not sure. I just remember
the one it was like two island. It was sort of two sides of the map with islands in the middle and a bridge connecting them. But maybe it was Vice City.
It's been so long. I didn't even have it. My cousin had it. That's right. I played Vice City. Loved it.
Yeah, Vice City was mine. It was islands with bridges connecting them together.
It was good. Yeah, Miami. I also loved the Scarface game. That was a good one. Definitely GTA vibes. Okay. Let me see here. One more thing I was going to bring up because I just thought it was funny. Did I X out my...
I used to like when I was because probably a teen when Vice City came out. You could make your own radio station.
So I remember that.
Various different like movie theme tunes and stuff, and you go from like Mission Impossible to James Bond. And the moment James Bond came out, I'd immediately hunt for the jumps and just start doing the. And I had one where I like went over
James Bond life.
I like went over the jump. I always remember the moment. It was amazing.
Lil Disparu living his James Bond dream. Okay, so this is not like a topic. This was funny, so I wanted to share it. I don't want to play it though because there is like the Jaws music in the background. So, this guy made a luggage cover of his wife's most embarrassing photo and then super glued it.
That was amazing.
Super glued it on before going to the airport.
I would be so mad that someone super glued it to my luggage.
She starts cussing about.
There's no way she's getting that off either. Like
she didn't. She starts cussing at him.
But even when she tries to cut that and everything, bits of that will just be stuck to the fabric.
I know. I mean, hey, at least you know which luggage is yours, okay?
Oh, yeah.
I like how they put it on the wheels, too.
Like, she needs to see this one.
we need to just
She's so mad. I love that.
Yeah. I actually like putting little identifiers on my luggage because I always get freaked out that I might just take the wrong luggage home.
Mm-hmm. Well, in the Vegas trip, I put red tape on mine because I just have black suitcases. So red tape allowed me to know what it was. But the best thing I'd ever done was put an AirTag in it. Because then when it enters the room, you know where it is. And you can see it counting down as it comes to you. So, because I have the thing where I'm like, is this mine? No. Is this mine? That kind of looks like mine. And then you don't know whether it's yours and someone else takes it. Like, well, I hope that wasn't mine. And then halfway through, I'm like, sometimes the conveyor belt stops as well. And you're like, is that all of them? And it starts again.
No.
The longer it goes on, I'm like, maybe I've missed it. Maybe I've missed it.
Or
especially when you're tired from traveling, you're just like,
all you want to do is go to your hotel, sleep,
or home,
change.
Yeah.
At the very least, maybe shower.
So the AirTag
is the best thing.
Gold. Well, they're coming out with the second version as well. It's supposed to go up to like 60 meters. So.
Oh, nice. And they're supposed to ping if they get like if there's like an AirTag near your phone, like an Apple phone, it should like ping off of that as well.
Yeah, that's how it works. Every Apple phone detects all the AirTags within range. So the more iPhones there are in the world, the better the tracking is.
Yeah. And I do also like that this has happened a few times because I borrowed keys that have the AirTag on it and be like, an AirTag has been following you for the last...
anti-stalking feature. Yeah.
Yes.
That's the other thing they're supposed to have improved as well.
Oh, it's definitely improved. I've had that come up on my phone a few times because I borrowed things with AirTags in them.
Yeah,
So.
if one is following you and it's not yours, it will tell you.
Yeah, I do
That's
think
cool.
that is a very good feature to have. Thank you, Apple. So.
All right, let's see here. Mark, a reality for 5. Thank you, Mark. In all my life, I've only met one person with an Audi belly button.
They were an
Ooh,
alien.
I met one person
He's
too.
an alien.
Only met one person. What about you guys? Have you met anyone with an Audi belly button?
I think.
There's
So,
been
but
like
it
a
would've been a
couple,
long time
especially
ago.
like working at daycares and like the baby room when you're changing diapers and stuff. I've seen a few with like little Audis. Not like a lot, but a couple, more than one. Say like 3 or 4 maybe.
Interesting.
He's like, those are baby aliens, just Bruce gears.
They're breeding.
That's
This
how
is the
the alien
problem.
is inserted into a human.
Through the Audi.
Mm-hmm.
This
And
sounds
in you
weird.
becomes an Audi.
Because the alien is inside, it has to seal itself up, and the only way it can seal itself up is from the it forces it to be outside.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I see Russ in the chat. A lot of innies become outies after 8 months of pregnancy. They're just obsolete. You don't even see the belly button. Oh, that'd be so interesting to see mine because I've never seen the back of my belly button.
She's like,
I don't think
hold on,
anyone
can
is-
I
Look, if you see the back of your belly button, you are in trouble. That means your insides have become your outsides.
No. You know how like some people have a very shallow belly button, like you could poke it and you'll know like that's the back of your belly button. Mine just it's so
Isn't that everybody? Like no one's got just like an empty hole.
no, but
That
mine,
could
I
have been
can't find
phrased
the
better.
I can't find the back of it. I've tried poking it before.
What?
Yeah. Maybe one day I'll show you.
Can you
It'll
not-
be a fun
Can you not just
saucy
see
experiment.
the end of like?
No.
Is it just like a cave?
Yeah. It goes far back. I tried poking it with like a toothpick, and then it hurts, and I feel a
toothpick?
tingle in the back of my my belly, and it's like, oh no, I don't want to do it.
Is this like a dimensional portal? Like, what have we discovered here?
I
A
don't know.
dimensional portal.
Maybe that's the entrance to the next dimension.
How long was your what's it called? The umbilical cord cut? If it could recede that far inside,
I'll have
you.
to ask my mom because I have no idea.
She'll get back to us. Stay tuned. The
Next
next
week.
Saucy. Yeah.
I thought even innies, you could still see the belly
You
button.
cannot see the back of mine. It's very strange.
No wonder you thought someone could hump it. Yeah, well, it's got enough depth. It's at least 8 inches.
Oh my gosh. Mark, thank you for another 5. My favorite GTA character was Trevor, mainly because he was the biggest psychopath in the game. Come rub my shoulders, I'll cut off your arm. Thank you, Mark.
My favorite bit of the game was when someone called him he would like, yeah, you know, I'm out here in the wilds, but a lot of people are coming over here, and he's like, you're not just a hipster, you're a proto-hipster. Like, you go to places that and then leave when the hipsters turn up.
Oh my gosh. Well, what are you doing your Sunday fun day tomorrow? It's
I
that
believe
time.
so.
Let's say our goodbyes.
I don't know what we're playing though.
Yeah.
We'll
Are you
figure
doing
it out.
the crafts in the morning or no?
So I haven't set up a table to be able to do that here. Like my desk has become significantly smaller, so I don't even have a place to put my keyboard to the side so I can do anything here. So I'll figure it out. Maybe I will deal drugs on schedule 1.
I knew
Wait, that's
Drew was
always an
gonna
option in life. I need a bigger desk. That means I've got to make some money.
Yeah.
I finally have a camera like to overhead, like so I can have the 2 cameras going. So when I do like Lego
yeah.
builds and stuff, finally. So I think on Wednesday, I'll probably do that in the morning. That it kind of was like a random day to do it. So
I mean,
I'm glad.
it's a good thing. Like I have everything set up once I get an additional table here, and then that way I can like move back, and then I'll have the table so you can see whatever I'm doing crafting wise. So, but it's right here. I can't pull it down, so I'm gonna move it back.
She's
I don't know why I
slowly
pulled it
getting
out.
it set up. She'll be back to her crafting.
I keep expecting
soon.
it to like fall out of the sky. On the way you're holding it is like it's right here. Oh no, I shouldn't have touched that.
No, it's fine. It's stable. It's stable. It's just other stuff around it might not be stable.
What do you have coming out, just so you have a Doctor Who video coming out, right? Or already...
Yeah, I need to do a Doctor Who review. I filmed a Thunderbolts review, but I started coughing. I'm too ill to do this. So I didn't finish editing in time. And after that, yeah, it depends what Tennant's TV show is like. If it's funny, I'm definitely going to take the piss out of it because it's Tennant.
You might as well, even if you just do like a short little video, just cover it. People might like to just hear what you have to say on it.
Well, it depends, because it could just be boring trash because it is David Tennant. So, you know.
Yeah. I have quite a few things that'll be happening this week. If you guys are following my vlog channel, I have quite a few videos coming out. I already dropped 2. I have 2 more coming and shorts and stuff. Like I'm gonna be way more active on that channel. Wicked's World on Thursday. Wednesday morning, I'll be probably finishing my little Rose Legos.
Nice.
So, and then some gaming streams sprinkled throughout the week. So, lots happening next week. Look out for that.
Love it.
And then she's gonna buy some mining equipment and try and find the end of X-Ray Girl's belly button.
Yes, stay tuned next week.
Maybe that will be a video. In all honesty, it probably will never be, because there are some really interesting fetishes out there. I remember talking about this with Blabs, and then I started getting messages about, can you show me your belly button for X amount of dollars? I'm like, no.
Oh yeah, that's right, Hokies. Sorry.
And imagine the creatures that would live in there. It's going to be like invading a dungeon. It's going to be like a D&D campaign. She have like a head torch on. She needs backup batteries and ration packs and stuff. She's entering the cave for like 2 weeks to find out the hidden dangers.
Can Flit and Kylar return, and Kylar as a ferret go and dive into my belly button and find out what's in there?
It's like the end boss is like some secret extra dimensional god, and that's why it's so deep. It like bent time and space like a bag of holding.
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh.
Well, if you guys want to hear more of the belly button talk, you're just gonna have to wait until
next week.
And actually we'll talk to her mom and let you guys know about the umbilical cords and everything. So we're gonna leave you on a cliffhanger.
I thought she was cutting it extra long, but I was like, oh, she knows what she's doing.
Oh my gosh.
I am a size queen.
It's true. All right, guys, we'll see you next week. Have a good night.
Bye.
Bye.
See ya.